Oh, hey guys, all right. I'm gonna start the live stream now. It's Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is time for starting. I want to welcome whoever's here so far. Sorry, top chat. Charles B, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. You're the first one in. Okay, for those of you going to see this later on, the topic of today's discussion is going to be gathering the evidence. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about. Gathering the evidence. Okay, we want to get evidence. The more evidence that we get, the better off we'll be as far as proving this to be real to the general public. Okay, and you got to forgive me, guys. I'm a little hungover, and you know, I'm just kind of shot. I'm gonna need your help today. Hey, Mike, what's up? So just bear with me tonight, because I mean, I look at this as a job. I got to show up every Wednesday at 10 o'clock, and I'm gonna show up every Wednesday at 10 o'clock with my shovel and my fucking tools and whatever I gotta have to do this job. So I mean, even if I, you know, whatever, here I am. Okay. So now I don't know if you guys heard about what's his name, Jack Black mentioned recently that if you don't take a job, they're gonna clone you and kill you. Check out the Vril X. I just favorited it. It's a Vril X video where Jack Black mentions that you know, oh yeah, you got to do a sequel, otherwise they'll clone you, they'll kill you and clone you. You know, and he was like saying it as a joke, but they're letting it slip through the cracks because, for whatever, you know, they want this information to come out. You know, the celebrities, I mean, Jack Black, he was never my favorite guy, but I mean, I like that music. What was it? That School of Rock show, movie he did. And you know, he came out recently and said that, yeah, if you don't take the job, they kill you and they clone you. So let's bear that in mind. That's a little bit more on the pile of evidence, you know. And what I want to try to do today, guys, is have some people call in to see what do you call it? To see if we can have people talk about their experiences and stuff. All right, I got the Facebook account. Okay, wait, got a message. Yes, just started. I got to, yes, just started. Anyhow, just letting some of the constituents know that we just started. I got my tools with me. I gotta have coffee tonight, you guys. It's a coffee night. Definitely a coffee night for me. All right, let me get this rest of the thing set up. I'm gonna be taking calls on Facebook tonight. You guys, you know, in the chat, just chat away, whatever you got to chat about. You know, I'm pretty sure Don's gonna show up tonight in the chat. I just got a message from him asking me if we're going on tonight, so it looks like we're going on. Oh, now, Sean, you just got back to me now? I can't get back to you now. You left me a voice message. Damn it, where the hell are you? No, I can't get back to you now. Right now, I got to blab for 2 hours here. I can't talk to nobody else right now, but I can pour some coffee, because otherwise I'll friggin' collapse. Yeah, sorry, guys. Again, I'll say I'm a little hungover and a little tired, but I'll show up for work. I'll show up for work even if I feel like shit. You know what I mean? That's just my work ethic. Okay. Why am I doing this? Because no one else is. That's why. Because somebody's got it. Somebody's got to do it. Why the hell not me, right? Okay, well, let's say hello to some people. Hey, what's up, Static? Scream Static. Daisy O'Shea, how you doing? Xander K, what's up? Daisy O'Shea again. Hey, love from the UK. Oh, good to see you. Raven TW. Hi, everyone. Love you guys. Yeah, it's good to have the support. Thank you, Randy Richards. Thank you, guys. My charger. Yes, I remember the charger today. Got the charger. Thanks for the help. I appreciate it. Just got a message from Donald. She's going to be in shortly. You know, what I want to talk about today, guys, is gathering the evidence. The evidence is going to mount up like a mountain. You know what I mean? The same way years ago Donald's here, Shazam. What's up, Don? We're talking about gathering the evidence. It's going to be mounting up. It's going to be mounting up all over the hall. I'm sorry, I'm a little hungover. I need coffee today. All right. We're talking about gathering. Recently, Jack Black, if you guys saw that Vril Lizards video, Jack Black mentioned casually that, you know, if you don't take the sequel job, that they'll kill you and clone you. So there's another little thing on the pile of evidence. People saying, famous celebrities talking about cloning, and you know, they're not coming out, they're saying it as it's a joke, but you know what? Many a truth is spoken in jest. People are going to know this stuff when it piles up and piles up and piles up. Also, I had a question. Yes, he made it sound as if he was joking, but that's what they got to do, right? But if enough people keep doing that and doing that, you know, and they... Right, that's exactly the only way he's allowed to say that, yeah. And how is he? Is he kind of cool? Is he trying to help, or is he just is he just a douche? Because I only like that School of Rock movie, but I thought he was a little bit of a little, you know... I never really thought he was such a great guy, Jack Black, but is he cool? Is he helping us? Yeah, I didn't think he was that cool of a guy either. I thought he was like a douchebag, you know. I always got that impression. He's like when Led Zeppelin was getting inducted into Hall of Fame, he was like, "Oh, they're doing it for Satan and all this shit." And I was just like, what an idiot. He won't be any help. All right. Well, at least he just said that one thing, you know, and even if it's just to get more. What I want to talk about today, guys, is gathering the evidence. Now, gathering the evidence and piling up the evidence and the testimonies, it's really about the testimonies, because the evidence we got is also not only digging down into the deep underground military bases and finding evidence from down there and actual pictures and stuff. It's probably the only way he can get laid, because he's buying prostitutes. Besides buying prostitutes, yeah. Donald says, hi all. Hey guys. What's up, Matt? Raven. Anyhow, what we're going to do is, I just want to talk about gathering the evidence, guys. And basically, gathering the evidence means, like, you know, like, remember with John F. Kennedy? When he first got shot, everybody thought, oh, Lee Harvey Oswald, oh, shame on him. And, oh, Jack Ruby, he's a hero. He shot Lee Harvey Oswald. And for years, nobody even thought outside the box on that until the evidence started to mount up and mount up and mount up. Where now, everybody knows it wasn't just one guy shooting. Yeah, behave there, Mr. Man. So, you know, the thing is to, with the same thing with this cloning stuff, we want to mount up the evidence and pile it up that so it's pretty much undeniable, to a point where it gets undeniable that this stuff is going on. That's what I want to kind of point out today. All right. Okay. You guys are having a little thing going on in there. That's all right. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention to Full-Time Geek, if Full-Time Geeks out there, yes, I wanted to do that account and set it up a Steam account, because what's happening now is that the live streams are, I have a backup channel, a BitChute account, where all my videos from this channel go to the BitChute account. Now, the last 2 or 3 live streams did not make it to the BitChute account. So if YouTube screws us, you know, all these recent live streams are going to be taken off. So I got to figure out how to get them onto the BitChute account. So if anybody knows, have a Full-Time Geek contact me. Yes, he knows his shit, man. Definitely does. And the other thing I wanted to say also is the YouTube, the Yahoo Mail account that I have called The Voice Crying in the Wilderness. I don't want to use that anymore for people that want to get in touch with me. All right, if you want to get in touch with me, I opened up a new Yahoo Mail account, and it's called A Voice from the Deep Underground, all small letters, all one word. Okay, it's going to be a lot easier to correspond with people from there, because the other account, The Voice Crying in the Wilderness, I get notifications after notifications after notifications, and if I'm looking for one person's letter, it's like next page, next page, next page, next page, and I'm there for like a half an hour before I find anything. So if you want to correspond with me, send an email to a voice from the deep underground at yahoo.com. Okay, guys, just wanted to make a note of that. All right, now as usual, I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about, but oh, I have a question. Donald, I have a question. Somebody asked me this question, and I thought it was an interesting question. I didn't know how to give him an answer, but is it possible for somebody... What's up, Cardo? Is it... I can recognize the hat and the piece on without my glasses. I'm like, oh, that's going... The question is, can somebody who is in the process of getting droned, can they like stick it in like a little bit, and then all of a sudden, like, the process gets stopped somehow, like, I don't know, it gets beat off or stopped in between, and all the whole thing doesn't go into the person? Does that affect, is that a thing that happens? Or is that just never happens? Or can it be done like a little bit of the way, and then like get pulled out, and then they have some after effects like headaches and eyeball aches or whatever? Is that possible? Because somebody was saying that they had like some kind of question about that, and I wasn't really sure how to answer them. Yes, then it'd be stopped. So they would have like partially go in and then beat them up, but that never happens. Okay, yeah, that never happens. All right, so yeah. Okay, so we got that question answered. Cool. Oh, thanks, man. Cool. Let me see what else I got here. Oh, this is saw that other shit. Guys, you gotta bear with me today because I'm hungover and I'm tired. I feel like shit, but I show up for work anyhow. Oh, here's the answer. It's Donald says, if it's pulled out before the cell transfer deep in the brain, it'd be stopped. Okay. And it would leave like a scar or something. Like a stab wound. Probably would leave a stab wound, I would imagine, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Somebody asked me about that, and I said I'd ask. Okay, now basically the evidence that we're going to have is the number of testimonies of people talking about this stuff, guys. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, now the other thing that was kind of okay, Donald says if it's pulled out before the cell transfer deep in the brain, it'd be stopped. They can't even drug people to stay still. The proboscis would be affected from the eye water with the drug in it. Nah, you just pull it out like a string in the eye. Okay. Oh, it says, is the bottom of the proboscis sharp? No, you pull it out like a string in your eye. Okay, so it's like a string in your eye. It doesn't penetrate the eye. It goes around the eye and then spirals around the optic nerve into the brain deep. Oh, I see. That's what it is. All right. Cool. All right. Okay, guys. So basically, we want to talk about... here we go. Here's Sean. Why don't you call me sooner, you bastard? Hello?
Yo ho ho, mofo.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? Sorry I didn't get...
It's all right.
Yeah, I didn't get to... sorry I didn't call you back earlier, man.
We have Sean Rex Leclerc on the line here, guys. We're talking about gathering the evidence, Sean.
AKA Plymouth Fury. Gathering the evidence. There's a lot of evidence to get together.
Yes, did you hear that? Did you see that Vril Lizards video about Jack Black? He was joking around saying, you know, if you don't take the sequel, the second movie, they kill you and they clone you.
If you don't take the what?
The sequel, part 2. If you don't do part 2 of a movie.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I was not aware of that.
Oh, I guess he didn't see the video. You didn't see the video?
I didn't see the video, no.
Oh, okay. Well, what happened recently, this little douchebag, Jack Black, he comes out and he says, he was during an interview. It was during an interview. Forgive me, guys. I'm a little shot today. It was during an interview, and he mentioned that Oh, somebody said a question like, are you going to do the sequel? And he says, well, yeah, I got to do the sequel. Otherwise, they kill you and they clone you. And then the clone does the sequel or whatever. Something like that, he said.
And everybody, of course, laughs, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. You see, that's coming off as a joke.
Exactly. What's
Right.
up,
But
Sharice?
he's not joking.
Right. It's well, many a truth is spoken in jest. Well, actually, what we wanted to talk about today is the gathering evidence. How are we gonna? The evidence is gonna be mostly testimonies of people. What's up, Charlie Evil? It's gonna be the evidence is gonna be mostly the testimonies, the corroborating testimonies of people going through the same experiences. What do you got? Some feedback there?
Sorry about that. There was another call coming in.
It's all right. Yeah, I didn't think it. Donald says he's not a nice guy. He didn't come across to me as a nice guy neither, this blackjack guy.
Nah, he's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah, fuck blackjack. But
I like his movies, though.
Well, that one movie was good, but still, I mean, he's a sellout. He's a sellout. He's worshiping Satan and shit. You know, he's into that adrenochrome. Oh, he looks like Paul Revere, actually, a clone from the past. Somebody, and Mr. Anakin says,
"Yep, he's." I've actually seen some photo comparisons online with him. He looks a lot like Paul Revere.
He does. Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see. Anyhow, what up? Wait, let me read this here. His parents are supposedly rocket scientists, Donald says. Oh.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh. So I guess he's got to have a little brain in his head at least.
Or something. Listen,
yeah.
I have to call you back. Or here. I'll call you back in about 10:15.
Okay. All right. Now listen, guys. I was thinking if any of you guys want to call in with experiences about cloning, and since Donald's here, we could sort of run it by Donald to make sure if he agrees that you're at the cloning center. You know, I'm on the Facebook. Let's see here. Wait a minute. I showed you guys this. This is the voice from Deep Underground. You could call me on that. If you have a Facebook account, call me, and I'll pick it up, and we can have a conversation. You know, we'll do like a call-in show. I haven't figured out this Discord app yet. I downloaded a Discord app and I sent it. What do you call it? I wasn't born with a computer in my hand. I wasn't born with a cell phone in my hand. All right, yes, check out Mr. Anakin's post, guys. He just posted a bunch of links over here. Okay, Juliet has a question here. Could you dream of clones and not be in the center? I'm not sure what you mean by dreaming of clones. You mean dreaming of like a bunch of twins, or you mean dreaming of like celebrities or whatever? Juliet. Not sure what you mean by that question. You gotta bear with me, guys. I'm hungover, I'm shot. I still show up for work even though I feel like shit, you know, every Wednesday. What she mean? All right, Carter says, what she means is could we be having just dreams of cloning centers because we've heard of it for something else? Yes, Donald says you could just have dreams about it. Yup, yeah, because you know what it does too? I kind of think like when you're watching, like say you're watching a science fiction show, like say Star Trek or something, you got a movie on and you fall asleep and you sort of feel like you're dreaming like you're in the movie, you know what I mean? What's suggested into your brain is going to be what you might be dreaming about, you know, at night, I think, you know. But like, you know, to tell if you're really in a clone experience, it's kind of like it's always in a room somewhere where there's a bunch of people in the room and you're like, what the hell is this? It's clearer than a dream, Donald says. You'll know though, it's clearer than a dream. Yes, it feels like you're right there. That's what I noticed about cloning experiences as opposed to dreams. Like, it feels like you're right there. I don't know how else to say it, you know. And a dream is more like the reality keeps changing. You're flying, you're floating, you're swimming, you're turning into a bird, whatever. All weird stuff happens like that you couldn't possibly do. Okay, Rocker says, Don, so when you're tortured in a clone center and memory repressed, you'll get sick in the next morning, right? Yeah, kind of, I believe so. Now, listen, guys, somebody was mentioning that I could slow down the chat. I don't know how to do that. Is there a way to do that? Let me see. Oh, chat viewing options. All right, let's see. Top chat, live chat, none. What's this here? Like, there's supposed to be a way to slow down the chat so that it don't go by so fast. All right, I don't know how to do that. Slow mode. Yeah, how do I get slow mode? Where is that? Where is slow mode? Click top chat. Click top chat. Top chat, okay. We're going to go to purpose, we're going to learn more. Okay, I'm trying to get slow mode here. Top chat. Learn more. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, that's, okay. But yeah, I'm sorry guys, let's get back on topic. The difference, how to tell the difference between a dream and a cloning center experience. You get sick the next morning, okay, when you're in a cloning center experience, right? Raven TW says, when you're lucid, you can physically feel things is a clue you are there. Yeah, it feels like you're there, you know? Carter says, hey Don, have you ever been put in a position where you were being hunted by hybrid animals? Have they ever done anything like this to you? Matthew says, I figured it was a suggestion for a long time. Eventually you figure out it's real. Quiet Bunny says, unless you are drugged to make it feel like a dream. Yes, you can be. There's a drug box inside you. Yes, I think, yes. Happy Together says, I had a dream Aaron Carter tried to rape me when I was 6, but it was in a cabin. I don't think I am at the cloning center. I'm so sorry you guys have experienced that. Well, you know what? They can actually create a cabin for you. Like I've had cloning center experiences where they actually reproduce my bedroom. They'll put a bed there and then set up your room just like your room. And you know, so it fools you into thinking that you're still at home, you know. Oh, it keeps buffering every 2 seconds. Oh shit, not again. Juliet says makes sense. I had a dream I saw Slash with a guy that looked exactly like him. It was so random. Okay, yeah, that could be too. Okay, let's scroll down. Don says they let me do some interesting things there at times. They weren't being evil on me. I dissected my own arm with the pain sensors off. Oh wow, that's wild. So you can actually cut off your own arm and not feel it. It can look like anything. MK Donald says it can look like anything. MK Ultra Vigils. Yeah, because they'll just make you see whatever. You know, kind of like putting screens all around you, and they can put you wherever they want. You know. Inorganic beings steal our energy in dreams. It says over here. Movement 85. All right. Yeah, it's crazy, guys. You got to bear with me, guys, because I'm really hungover and I'm kind of shot today. You know, but I'm showing up for work anyway. You know what I mean? Even if I feel like shit. I met Tom DeLonge. Carter says, I've met Tom DeLonge at the airport to speak about UFOs and classified documents. Oh, okay. Does that mean you actually really met him in real life? Scream Static says, there are benefits to the tech just in the right hands. Yes, I agree. Baseaholic says, it's not at the moment, but it does keep happening for me at least. Okay. Donald says, yep, open your own guts up. No pain if the pain sensors are off. Matthew says something about was attacked by a genetically modified ostrich. And I was afraid of them. Happy Together says, ostriches are scary, Matthew. I bet that was terrifying. Cardo, Blink 182. Little shout out to the band. Are you guys not reading my comments, or is it going too fast to read? I'll say it again. Press your phone on the screen, on the comments, and it will slow down. Okay. Like that. Oh, here we go. No, I don't know how to do it. It doesn't say slow down on here. How does it go? I'm trying to figure out how to get to slow mode, guys. No, I can see your comment there. You know what it is? It's going kind of fast because it's like, but I don't know how to get it to slow mode. And I can't read all the comments, guys. I'm just trying to read mostly Donald's, of course, and you guys who are making the most sense to me. Because if I would just read all the comments, I wouldn't be able to keep up. And wait a minute, maybe I could figure out how to put this on slow mode. What the hell? I can't figure out a slow mode. God damn it! Ah! All right, I need a coffee break. Give me a second here, guys. Maybe I should get out the sock puppet and let him do the job. Okay. But you guys can just chat away. I mean, keep chatting, because I know you guys are reading the chats and everything, and the comments in the chats. So, I mean, I'm not able to keep up. I'm feeling like shit tonight. I'm just like, can I just lay here and let you guys chat? I'll just go like this. Oh, man. Okay, down Marshall. Okay. Yeah, I can't figure this out. You lose, I'll read Donald's comments. Lose too much blood and you'll feel drunk, weak. And you can't move with too much blood loss. Yeah, when you lose your blood, you feel like drunk and weak. Put yourself up without fainting. Full-time geek, I need you. Where are you? I got to figure out how to put this all on BitChute. Just got no with the comments and everything. Somebody film this and put it all on BitChute with the comments, because. Okay, Donald says, I don't know about sleep paralysis. Never had it. Never heard it talked about at cloning. Who wakes up in sleep paralysis? Raven TW. Waking up in sleep paralysis. I had one episode of that once, if it could be called sleep paralysis. But clone organs don't work. They're growing too fast. You cannot replace clone organs with real organs. I was going to say, one time I felt sleep paralysis. I was laying in the bed, and I saw like two bird-headed things standing there. They just appeared in my room and looked at me for a couple of minutes and then disappeared and walked away. It wasn't like paralysis, like I could have moved, but I just wasn't gonna move because I was like, fucking, I don't want them to know I know that they're here. Holy shit, I better fucking stay still. Donald's going out for a smoke, guys. Donald's out for a smoke, Rollicker. You can ask him that question when he comes back. Oh, female clones cannot get pregnant, Charlie says. Let me shut these wipers off. Sorry, guys. I must apologize. I know I'm apologizing too much. I just should shut up about it. I'm just feeling like shit. I'm tired. I drank a little too much wine last night. I did not sleep well. But I'm showing up for work anyhow. Here I am. I'm here again. Wednesday, 10 p.m. Rain or shine, whether I feel good or not. I'll bring my shovel and I'll dig. I'll dig the holes. Gathering evidence. That's what we're talking about. We want to get more and more evidence, testimonies. Somebody call me up and say hello. Oh, you know what was the thing last week? What was his name? Journalista Independiente was calling me about Thirsty Lake. There's a place called Thirsty Lake where he thinks there's a cloning center over there. He said it was a round building. I don't know if any guys around there are near Thirsty Lake, but get out the binoculars and start checking around where there's a big round building and Justin Trudeau goes in and out of there all the time. Some shit going down over there. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny. But yeah, I can't read this stuff. It's driving me crazy, guys. I wasn't born with a cell phone in my hand. I can't do this all day. It makes me crazy. I gotta talk to somebody. Hello, how are you out there? I'm shot today. I'm just shot. Oh. Okay. Do clones always born via test tube? Well, no, there's two types of cloning. There's duplication cloning, which is they're made in a tube of nutritional rich water or whatever it is. I'm answering Harriet Boateng asks, do clones always born via test tube? No. Sometimes they can take like Mike Tyson was like that. He was born as a baby. Okay, they could take a clone, like some DNA from the past, and they can implant it into a woman where she'll have the baby and it'll be an exact copy of somebody that existed in the past. They could do that too. They could even use a cow or a pig, like what's his name? George Green was talking about this when he was describing. He says, yeah, you got to watch that movie, The Boys from Brazil. It describes it exactly. And he was talking about, oh, you just need a receiver. I mean, you could put it into any animal that has a food supply and a womb and make a clone. Which is kind of creepy, to be honest with you. That's kind of creepy. You know. Oh, wow, I'm impressed with your engine. Ooh. Don't you love that? People could go, whoa, 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 whoa! Oh boy, what an engine you have! Wow. It's buffering. Drinking Alka-Seltzer. Yeah, all right, you know what? Maybe I'll move over just a little bit and see if I can get where it's not buffering. I don't like buffering. I like Excedrin. Donald's back, guys. Oh, I'm going to move a little bit to see if I can stop the bufferation. Okay, let's see. How's this? Any better? Oh, okay. All right, I'm at a different spot now, guys. Did it stop buffering? It's not buffering. Okay, good. Okay, somebody asks, why do you not do videos lately? And Donald says, for me to make more videos, it'd be just rehashing what I've already said. And then he says, some think it's because I'm fat now. I'm not. Haha. Some think I'm dead. I'm not. Rolliker. Who's Rolliker? Oh. Just said Rolliker. Okay. Do you still go to the cloning center, Aldo? I've had recently I've had some weird stuff happen. Yeah, I think they've been messing with me lately. Like I haven't been sleeping too well. Like you know my most recent thing that I've noticed that was happening to me. I'll go to sleep and I'm not sleeping well, you know, and I'll be at. All of a sudden I feel like, oh well, I'm laying in a bed somewhere and there's freaking people all around, walking around, yelling and making all this noise. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, shut up! I'm trying to sleep. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know? And I don't know if I'm just dreaming, or they got me at the cloning center trying to not let me sleep because I have not been sleeping well. There's no such thing as demons and witches, guys. Donald says. I know this for certain. Somebody asked me, do I believe in a God? I do, yeah, still. You know. There's aliens and science and technology. All right. Xander cases, Donald, do the overlords have a set date when to play out the second coming? That's an interesting question. They probably don't. They're probably just playing it by ear. Are they losing grip of control now, or are they still totally in control? That's what I'd like to know. Is there actually really anything happening? Supposedly, Xander, yes, they do have a date, but unknown when. Carter asks, are you no longer at the centers, Donald? Aliens or demons? You've seen them. Carly is a clone. Hi, Sarah. Carly is cray-cray, being generous, don't give her money. Don says, not like before. Yeah, they're not taking him down there like before. You know, it's once in a while now, from what I understand, right, Don? Tim Parrish. Hey, it's good to see you again. Tim, what's up, man? The Pro Boards. It's donaldmarshall.proboards.com. That's where you want to go to find all the info, guys. All of Donald's Facebook posts since 2012 are there. You know what would be cool if somebody could like put it all together in a book. This kind of, I think it's already kind of done. One guy put it together in a book. I forget the name of the file, but I downloaded it. It's a PDF with most of all the information. But that was done years ago. That's already old. That was from 2013, I think, right? Carter says, I mean, we should do group chats and speak to one another. We could all brainstorm and work towards finding a way to shut it down. We could network and spread all of this faster. Yeah, that's cool. How do we do that? How do we do that? How do we do a group chat like that? Let's see. Matthew says, are they trying to heal you by not bringing you there too often? Donald says, unknown, Matthew. But I would guess that they don't want to put too much pressure on the goose that lays the golden eggs. You know what I mean? Because they still want them golden eggs. You know what I mean? I can't read all these things, guys. I'm just like, I'm shot today. I'm sorry. What I wanted to talk about today was the gathering of evidence. You know, the more testimonies of people that we have that have these crazy experiences, the more it's going to be obvious to the public that it's a real thing. You know, and the other thing too, like, see, even this thing with Jack Black, where he said that, you know, to him it's just a joke and it comes across as a joke. If the public knows that that's the only way that it can be spoken about by these celebrities, then the public's going to realize that, oh shit, this is not a joke. You know what I mean? Okay. Carter says you can download the app where multiple people can join and speak to one another, like multiple group chat. What app is that? That would be cool. Yeah, I also have Facebook Messenger. If you guys want to call me on Facebook Messenger. What we got? Oh, I got. Oh, never mind. It's Sean, everybody. Got Sean on the line. Sean, how are you, sir? Plymouth Fury. Sean, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good. Can everybody hear Sean?
Good.
Okay. Well, here we are again.
Here we are again, once again.
All right. I'm shot tonight, but I'm still showing up for work. I'm sorry I'm shot. My brain is shot and tired, but I'm here anyway. I got my shovel. I got my tools. What are we going to talk about? Gathering evidence. Let's talk about how much evidence there is and where it's all at. And what are we going to do?
We need to start trying to reset some of these things that know what's really going on. Because I know that there's a lot of people that are just trapped in a bad situation. We gotta get these people on our side. You know what I'm saying?
You're breaking up a little, bro. You're breaking up a little bit. Try it again.
I said we got to get some of these celebrities that know what's going on. We got to get some of them on our side because I know there's a lot of them that are good people that are just trapped in a bad situation. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. I mean, I believe that they already want to kind of, you know, they want to kind of tell everyone, but they're basically bound by the contract. And if they say anything, they're gonna get the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's also that thing about I don't know, entrails in the Bering Sea or something. Tear the tongue out, or there's some crazy oath they take, man.
They will cut your tongue out. They will cut out your tongue.
Yep, and throw your entrails into the river or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah, so like we were saying, that they're only allowed to say it as a joke. But what I was thinking was, if the public knows that, we got to educate the public on that. Listen, public, the only way they're allowed to say it is as a joke. They're trying to tell you, and this is fucking real shit. You know what I mean?
That's it. But the public in general, you know, like I said in the last fight, man, you're ready for this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But they better be ready. It's like a fucking break. You can stop it.
Breaking up a little bit. Shit.
Yeah, the reception sucked over.
This is quality here, folks. Just like NBC News. We got all top quality merchandise and instrumentation. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hang on.
Get an antenna. Okay, you're breaking up. Oh, you know what I was going to say? What I was thinking of, you guys out there. Okay, what are you calling me back? All right. What I was thinking of, you guys, McAllister, somebody's mentioned that McAllister wants to do a video about cloning. How would you feel about that, Donald? Would that be a good idea to get McAllister to do a cloning video? I don't know if I would want to get interviewed. Maybe it'd be best to interview you, like over the phone or whatever, or something. I don't know if you want to do that, but I could try to get in touch with her, maybe set that up, you know? Just thinking about it, you know, it's just an idea because she's got a pretty big audience. Most of her videos get like 20,000 hits each. And she's a good journalist. You know? Yeah, the energy's wacky this week. I'm sorry. I'm a little whacked out, guys. You know, it's, you know, I'm just, you know, but if you just want to chat, I'll just, you know, I'll just have coffee and go to sleep and wake up and have coffee. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tired. I don't feel good. I still showed up for work, though. You know? Yeah, I'm just feeling a little wacky today. Nah? Is that nah? That you don't want to do that McAllister thing? Because that might be cool to do a... what do you call it? Just to get the word out further out, you know, to spread the word. Well, whatever. We can talk about that whenever, you know, we'll figure it out. Oh, okay, cool. All right. We're all in wacky mode. That's fine with me. We'll all be wacky together. Thanks, Coco, Miss Coco. There's probably people with lots of influences actually here with us taking notes right now, Charles B says. Yes. High-ups and ground level people. Sean, what happened to you? Phone ain't working right. Let me try calling Sean back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm totally not up to this tonight, but I still showed up anyway because I want to do this every Wednesday. It doesn't fucking matter if I feel like shit. Still gonna do it. Alex Jones interviewing Donald would probably open up a can of worms. Yeah, I don't know if we want to go on Alex Jones. We want to go to McAllister. It's McAllister TV. I was saying about McAllister TV. She was doing that expose about Sligo, Ireland. What's going on in Sligo? There was a guy who was posting on my videos about Sligo, Ireland, and he was saying that there was a shitload of Vril drones over there, and he was hearing screams at night at this building called the Model, and she started looking into it, and it all checked out. So McAllister kind of brought some credibility to the channel, and somebody mentioned that she was going to do a video about cloning. So I think that might be a good idea to do like either an interview or a thing, and just to show what we all got, the pile that we got of information about cloning, and maybe get her a little deeper into it, because she's got a pretty big audience from what I understand. And you know, forgive me guys, I'm just shot tonight. I'm friggin' wacky. It's wacky night here. It's wacky night at the live stream. Yeah, Alex Jones is one of them. Yeah, we don't want to. Alex Jones is a Rothschild. You know? Charlie Evil says, yeah, Alex Jones is one of them. He's not going to. Donald says, witches only did herbalism, made potions, cures, and poisons. They got no magic power. Yeah, that magic stuff is in. There is no magic like that. Yeah, it's all suggestion. Or Vladimir would be able to shoot fireballs. Ah, bye. I'm just reading. I can't. I'm just today. I'm shocked, guys. Coffee is the only thing that's keeping me up today. Continue chatting, please. Donald's in there answering questions. I'm just gonna have coffee. All right. I got my sock puppet and my troll all ready to go. It's wacky tonight. It's wacky tonight. I'm going to take over for Aldo. I am the troll. I am Dracula. Troll, what are you doing? I don't want you to take over my broadcast. It's too bad. Now you are so wasted you cannot work tonight. I will handle it for you. But Troll, I'm not so wasted that I can't handle it. I just had a little too much wine last night. You are so hungover and wasted you cannot handle your job tonight. I must commend you. You still showed up anyway, even though you cannot handle it. That's all right. So I will handle it for you. I am the troll. Ha ha ha. There's a little cloning going on. And you people out there, you must know about it. It's true. It's so true. It's scaring me. I have to go now because I'm too scared. I'm just a troll. Thank you, troll, for helping me out with that, you douchebag. Fuck you. Target individual. Has anyone ever been harassed electrically with technology like TI people targeted? I'll tell you what, man. Every once in a while, I'll hear a really loud. Hold on, Sean. Hold on a second. Every once in a while, I'll hear a really loud, you know, like a ringing in my ears. You know. And one time when that was happening, I was sitting with my friend Judy, who, God rest her soul, she's no longer with us. I heard this ringing in my ears, and right when I heard this ringing in my ears, I saw Judy's face. I was looking at her face, and she went like this. Like as if she heard the ringing in her ears. At the same time I was hearing it, and I was like, I asked her, I said, did you just start hearing the ringing in your ear? And she's like, yeah. Apparently they were targeting us at the same time. But yes, they will do that. Sean, Plymouth Fury, are you there?
My reception sucks balls.
Yes, it does. Your reception sucks balls.
Yeah, well, I'm next door at the garage. I don't know if you saw the video I did with the Gene Simmons girl. I'm hanging out with the dude with the car right now, and I'm touch on speaker, and he's kind of freaking out on the conversation.
What's he saying? What are you saying? I don't understand you. Try it again. Maybe over here.
God, this sucks.
What about try calling on Facebook Messenger? How about that? Maybe that'll work better.
Yeah, actually, let me try that. I'll call you back on that shit.
Call me on the one. Call me from the voice from the Deep Underground one. All right.
All right, here I come.
All right. Here he comes. There we go. All right, that one's done. Facebook. Book face. Your Facebook, your ass book, what's the difference? Right? Where the hell are you? Wait a minute, do I gotta be on Messenger to collect the call? To get a call? Yeah. Continue. Why do you always ask me these questions? I don't know how you guys can live with a cell phone in your hand. I'll throw it against the wall. I got to hand it to you guys who can actually deal with a cell phone all day, every day. Because I'm just like, ugh. You know, I was not born with a cell phone in my hand. It makes me nuts just looking at this thing. Okay, where are you, Sean? We'll see what happens next. What's going to happen next on this wacky night? Oh my God, it's 51 minutes already? It just feels like we just started. All right, let's see what we got here. But yeah, I kind of want it. Weed has actually made me unproductive here lately, Matthew Duke says. Yeah, weed makes you happy right where you are. Ass book. Yeah. Your face, your ass, what's the difference? Your Facebook, your ass book, you know. Oh, Jesus. Yes, guys, Donald made a lot of Nirvana songs. Nirvana was basically a product that they used Donald as the creative vehicle behind it. What was that? Oh, okay, wait. Let me call you back. And voice call. Donald was the creative engine behind Nirvana, and they used a clone. They used a clone of an old king from the Gallic Empire called Vercingetorix as the guy who was the front man, you know? But basically, it was all Donald's ideas and shit. Are you there? Are you there? Plymouth.
I certainly am.
Oh, now that's a lot clearer. I can hear you now.
Yeah, well, that goes to show that Google fucking hangout sucks balls.
Oh, shit, it's barking up again. Say it again.
I said that just goes to show that Google hangout sucks balls.
Again, it's breaking up, man. Something sucks balls, you said.
Yeah, this sucks balls.
Wait a minute, I'm going to move it just another spot over, see if I can get a little clearer signal.
I don't think it's you, dude.
No, it's yours?
Yeah, it's mine for sure. Where you're at.
All right. Okay, we'll see. Just one spot over.
Well, I'm holding like closer to the wall, so that's the fucking Wi-Fi signal.
Well, listen to this. Usually aliens eat the clones chopped up when they're scrapped. That's when they throw it in the chipper. Nice fresh clone. I wrote a song about that. I got to show it next time. It's called Throw It in the Chipper.
Nice fresh clone. Throw them in the chipper.
Throw it in the chipper.
Yeah.
They melt them down with acid sometimes. Wow.
I can't wait. I gotta fucking redo the drum beat on that shit and just build that shit around the vocals, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Well, yeah, that clone meat gets used to be eaten by the aliens. Gross. They like that shit, huh?
Well, that would explain, if you remember, a while back there was a video that came out of a beach from Dulce Base. It was years ago, and they had rats with like basically human body parts in, and what they would do is they would soak themselves in the bath and absorb the heat through their skin, like almost like a plant absorbs your skin. You know what I'm saying?
All I got was there's rats, and then they soak the skin, and the skin comes off. I couldn't hear you breaking up, man, big time.
Yeah, this is. I'm gonna go next door and call you back, man. This is not good.
All right. He's gonna call me back from next door. Wacky night tonight, guys. They put oh man, Donald says they put me through the chipper awake and pain on a couple of times. Holy shit, that must have been horrible, man. I know this idiot once said he was putting some wood into a chipper and he put his foot in there and it ate up his leg up to his knee. Charlie Evil says, so hot dogs are human clone meat? Okay, we got a call from Sean Boudreau. Let's see, Sean, let's see if this comes in clear. Hello, you're on the air, Sean.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, what's going on, man?
Hey, man. Donald Marshall wrote Nirvana songs.
Yes.
Come on, dude.
Uh-oh, we got a non-believer. Are you a non-believer?
They have history. Kurt Cobain didn't pop up out of nowhere. He wasn't a king from whatever century. That's bullshit.
It's not bullshit. We have a non-believer, guys. Well, why do you...
I'm not saying that there's not cloning, but, dude, it's not true. It's not true.
Could this possibly be, what's his name? You're not Kurt Johnson, are you? That kid, what's his name? This kid that thinks he's Kurt Cobain? That ain't you, is it?
No.
Oh,
Kurt Cobain's dead.
Yeah, all right. Well, what do you think there?
Listen, I think there is cloning. I don't know if they could do it through your dreams or whatever, but yeah, there's definitely something going on.
Yeah, well, I see. You know what you do, man?
Organ harvesting.
Look up a picture of
stuff like that.
Look up a picture of Vercingetorix. You know who that is?
No.
All right, go on Google and type in Vercingetorix. Vercingetor. Vercinget.
Okay. Oh, I see it.
All right, now look at that picture. Tell me if that doesn't look like somebody familiar. That's the king of the Gallic Empire, France, back in the 1600s or whatever. Now, who does that look like?
I'm seeing statues. I'm not really seeing a good photo.
There's going to be obviously a statue, a photo of the statue. There's one statue of the guy. Look at the picture. Look at his face. Who does that look like to you?
I don't think it looks like Kurt, man.
Well, then you got to get your eyes checked, bro, because it looks exactly like Kurt Cobain. It looks exactly like Kurt Cobain. Look at it again.
He has a giant mustache and he looks like a Viking.
Right. He's got the same skull shape as Kurt Cobain. Exactly.
Yeah, the cheekbones maybe.
No, it's exactly, dude. It looks exactly like him. It's the same.
He could be the same nationality. People who are certain nationalities look the same.
All I can tell you is to open your mind, read through all the pro boards, and just look at the evidence, man. Because if you don't want to believe it, you're not going to believe it no matter what. And I'm not going to be like playing tennis with you to argue back and forth whether it's true or not.
I love your content, man. I love your videos. I don't know if I'm blocked from commenting, but it seems like I can't comment on YouTube. But I love you, dude. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right, but check that out, man. I mean,
Thanks for answering the call.
Look at what's his name, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Check him out.
He's full of shit.
He looks just like Abraham Lincoln. Look at a picture of him next to Abraham Lincoln.
He does.
This is what they do, man.
You're right.
They take DNA from the past, from famous people or intelligent people, and they make them into clones, and they try to make them to make money, and then they take that money away.
Listen, man.
Perfect example is Mike
I'm just trying to
Tyson.
get the Holly Berry clone.
You don't want that. That's a tranny.
That's a tranny?
You don't want that, man. That's a tranny.
All right, man. Good talking to you.
Same here. Good luck, bro.
All right.
I want to thank Sean Boudreau for that call. Thank you. Thank you for calling in, and we have a little difference of opinion. You know, that's the thing. Even Donald was saying, people are going to be disappointed that their favorite bands and their favorite celebrities are not really real. I was pretty bummed out about U2. U2, the band, like what's his name, Bono? He's a fucking drone. You know, I used to think U2 was great. Now I know he's a drone. Probably before he was a drone, he was really good. But now after, like, he got droned, he's just not the, it's a different thing. But you gotta understand, guys, that what they do is they'll take a clone, the DNA. They will take the DNA of a person from the past that was either successful or charismatic or, you know, highly intelligent, and they'll make a copy of that person. Like, here's a perfect example. Look at a picture of Shia LaBeouf, the actor, okay? And then look at a picture of young Albert Einstein. It's the same guy. Well, it's not the same guy. It's the same DNA. Look at a picture of Shia LaBeouf, the actor, okay? And then look at a picture of young Albert Einstein. It's uncanny. The resemblance is uncanny, you know? And you know what else too? You can sort of recognize Donald's writing style. Like I was watching this movie called Die Another Day, and it had a song in it by Madonna, and I was like, damn, that's probably one of the songs that Donald wrote, and he didn't want it to sound too good, you know, right? Was that what you did, Don, with that one? The naysayers are funny. They'll see soon enough, says Donald. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But did you write Die Another Day for Madonna in that movie, that James Bond movie? Because I was listening to that melody and I was like, that sounds like a Donald Marshall melody, because it's got the highs in it and it's got the repetitive kind of thing, you know. And then it was one that what do you call it? I just lost my brain of thought. You know, it was kind of fun. It was like kind of like a you didn't want it to sound that good. You know what I mean? Like, because you say that there's that one note in there that goes beep, and it stops for a while, and then it comes back into the melody, right? I don't know. I'm shot. But yeah, what's his name? Sean Boudreau. What was the kid's name? Sean Boudreau. Thanks for your call, man. I appreciate your call. You know, I you know, appreciate your call, dude. Add me on message. You know, it's just, you just have to friend me. Yeah, I sent a bunch of friend requests. Yeah, I don't know how to do this right now. I gotta, wait a minute. Let's see now. How do I do this here now? I'm gonna have to find, I don't know if, look, just send me a friend request. We'll set this, send me friend requests, and I'm just gonna accept all the friend requests to that, to this here. To what do you call it? This Facebook account. All right, guys. If you want to talk on the show, send a friend request to this. All right. Send a friend request to that, and I'll approve the friend request, and you can message me. Okay. Now let's see if there's any friend requests. Friend request. Okay. Confirm. Got you there, Matthew Duke. All right. Oh, there's a bunch more here. TJ Wake. Okay, wait a second. Let me call you right back. Hold on. We're gonna give a call to Matthew Duke and see if he's there, available to talk here now. See what we got here. All right. See if you can pick it up there. Now behave now. Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
This is Matthew. How you doing? What's up, man?
I'm just chilling at home, you know, just waiting to go to work tomorrow.
That's cool. So how's things going?
How about you?
I'm hanging in there, you know. Hanging in there. So
Yeah. Go ahead.
So what we're trying to do with this episode here is I'm trying to like figure out like gathering of evidence, like, you know, to make a nice big pile of evidence so that it's pretty much undeniable, like kind of like JFK, you know. When it first happened, everybody thought, oh, Lee Harvey Oswald, and everybody knows it was not just Lee Harvey. You know what I mean? The more the evidence piles up, you know. So that's what I kind of want to do with this, but, you know, so what do you got?
I think your friend Sham is right. Like, we need photographic evidence or video evidence, or maybe a Vril in a cage.
Yes.
But going about it the way that we have with like circumstantial evidence, it would have to take a lot of testimony and compiled data and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure.
I hear you. Well, the more the better. The more we got, the better off we are. Because then once some more testimonies pile up and the pictures and a Vril in a cage or whatever and anything we got, the more it piles up, the more it's going to be not just a theory, it's going to be a probability and a known fact, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean, guys?
See, that's the weird thing, because like whenever there's like missing information for any one topic, you can go and look at a completely different area of life, like a different concept or thing, you know?
Right.
And it's contained there. Like, you know, like you can find all this stuff about cloning and like aliens and stuff, but when it comes to like REM transfer, you're only going to find it in a few things, and those are completely disassociated from the rest of it. And that's the problem with it all, is because it's all fragmented.
Yeah, you got to put it all together, basically, you know? We got to put it all under one spot.
But I mean, do you think that we're going to be able to like get down there, like any of us?
I don't know. What I'm thinking is if some people in the military that are righteous people in the military, like once like we could put out the information. I don't have a tank, I don't have machine guns, I don't have an army that I can go down into a military base and invade it, but somebody does have command over a bunch of soldiers that will do it at some point once they know. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like one thing that I've always thought about is like our human rights.
Yeah.
Like surrounding the cloning centers and stuff. And one interesting thing that keeps coming up in my memory is the, you know, the super soldier experiments.
Yeah, I have heard some about that stuff, yeah.
Well, they also worked on these like alien hybrids. And the alien hybrids were supposed to be like the leaders whenever the Illuminati members would die off. They would become like their next generation who they would pass the torch to. And what happened with the aliens is that because they were generic people, they didn't really have any personality. So as they grew older and they wanted to be smarter and like, sorry, my voice is echoing back and it's kind of hard to think, but
you got to lower the volume on your device, on your on the YouTube channel.
Okay. Basically, these hybrids wanted to expand and be free, but in order to do that, they had to go against their Illuminati programming. They were still bad and everything like that, but not as bad as like the humans that had started it all. So they've not been aware of what they've been doing. They've literally been shutting down the Illuminati decade by decade.
Now, who is this now?
That's going to be our...
Explain that to me again briefly. Like, that's the alien hybrids. You're talking about the Chipheads that have the gene spliced manufactured bodies. These guys.
I'm talking about the ones that are like half human and half Vril. Like they only, I think the way that they were able to make them were artificial insemination. And these hybrids, they pretty much like were the ones that started the whole like flower power movement, and like, you know, the Beatles going to like India and stuff like that. The facilitation of consciousness.
Okay.
And whether they are aware of it or not, they've been our, I would, what do you call it? They've been our wrench in the gears. They're like our way in, because there's like a middle ground, you know?
Yeah.
And they can't live like the Illuminati of old. You know, they want to be more free, but at the same time, us like rising in consciousness makes them feel a little inferior because they know that they're not special or anything.
Right.
And so I think that's what's going to save us, is a deteriorating threshold between us and them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be destroyed from the inside out.
Right. Yeah, I kind of hear what you're saying. Yeah. You got to forgive me, though. I'm a little shot today. My powers of comprehension are a little bit... But, yeah, I get what you're saying. They're kind of like, they're not the way they used to be.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing is, when they first started cloning back in the 40s, it was completely different. Jump like 20, 30 years ahead, the game has completely changed, although it still has very similar elements from the past.
Right.
And every couple decades, the rules change. Like, as you can see, the Illuminati aren't doing, they don't just straight up kidnap somebody. They can't do that nowadays. Right. With like technology, and everybody already be talking about it. So if you or I were to disappear, that would just corroborate us.
Exactly.
However, back in the 20s and the 30s, they could do that. So you see, like, I think that's how it's going to be shut down, is just there's no privacy anymore. But I don't know, to be honest with you.
Everybody's got the cell phone and camera phone. And, yeah, I know what you're saying. There's a lot of electronic surveillance, way more than it used to be. Like, somebody could disappear back then and it wouldn't make, nobody would notice, hardly. You know, they could cover it up a lot easier, right?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you something, though, if you'd be willing to answer it.
What?
What was your life like before you went down the conspiracy rabbit hole?
It was weird.
Like, when did you figure that out?
It was weird. Before I went down the conspiracy rabbit hole, I was kind of like, I had in the back of my mind that the government was watching me all the time. So I was like, kind of sort of hiding and paranoid. And I didn't want to stay on the grid. I wanted to do all my jobs off the grid. Everything was cash. You know, I basically stayed away from, you know, any kind of electronic surveillance, or I don't know why. You know, I guess it was this underlying feeling that I was being watched or that I was being manipulated. I knew that I was, this was when I actually saw Donald getting beat to death as Jesus, and then when I had that experience of being shot with arrows in front of the audience, I knew something was going on, but I didn't know what. So I was like kind of sort of hiding a lot, and I was suspicious a lot of what was going on around me. You know, and when I worked, I basically worked all just cash jobs. I didn't want to work at any, and if I did work at a place, it was like not for very long, because some shit would happen to me that would just fuck it all up, you know, screw it all up somehow, you know. But, you know, I still had girlfriends and I worked, and, you know, I had my buddies, my drinking buddies, and, you know, my pot smoking buddies that I'd hang out with, and my musical friends that I'd jam with, you know, all my old friends. But as far as like, you know, living, I was like just kind of paranoid. I guess you could say it was paranoia, but not really paranoia, because it was for a reason, because I knew they were watching me, they were monitoring me, but I just didn't know for sure. I had a feeling more than I knew, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, that's the weirdest thing, is knowing things in the back of your head, and you feel it every day, but you can't put it into words, and just then seeing that truth like unfold and unravel.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, when I started realizing that, oh shit, there is this cloning thing, and oh shit, there is some kind of secret stuff going on, and it's really real, that freaked me out even more than, you know, just thinking that it might be happening, you know, because I had thought, like, oh, am I just imagining this? You know, maybe my life is actually just so boring that I'm just imagining that this is going on just to have some excitement in my life. That's what I thought. I thought I was just like, you know, mentally masturbating myself or whatever, you know, and it turns out that all this shit is actually happening. And I'm just like, whoa. You know, I mean, all right, I'm over the whoa shit part now. You know, I'm over that now. And now it's just kind of accepted as part of my reality. You know, all right, yeah, I'll wake up in a cloning body over there and just end up getting, you know, violated and tortured or whatnots, you know, and just have to deal with it, you know? So it's kind of...
Yeah, it's really... Go ahead.
I was done. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was really weird when I first figured it out, because everybody goes through this. Like, when they first figure out, they don't take it as seriously as they should. And I think it's because they don't fully know that it's happening. They just kind of think that they do, but they don't understand how or why it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And as people figure out more and more, it gets more and more serious. And that was you know, it's really hard to look back at older videos and read through the subtext of like just how programmed we are.
Yeah.
But I've always been like a really huge critic on myself, and I've always been very critical.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is,
like,
also that we got to realize too that while we're in memory repression and sleeping in the cloning center, they can influence us to do and feel certain ways. You know, they can actually put people in, like, for example, with me and my sister, they have been meddling with my relationship with myself and my sister for years now, and I only realized it like a couple of weeks ago when I saw her at the cloning in my cloning experience, and I'm like, wow, no wonder, because my sister has constantly been trying to set me up to get me arrested and thrown in jail. You know, they'll set people against you, and they'll program people, and even us too, they'll program us to feel certain ways and think certain things and act in certain ways that benefits them, you know, and screws us up.
Yeah, like I'm always worried about that in the back of my mind, because it makes me paranoid about everybody. For a while, whenever I first figured out about cloning, it was literally hard to tell if somebody was real or not for like the longest time.
Right.
And I guess I still live in this mind state where I've got 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot in the coffin. Like, a part of me just thinks everybody's out to get me, but another part of me realizes how there's love and we're all here to help each other. And it's hard to kind of be in both of those mind states.
I know exactly what you mean, man. I was thinking that today. Like, I got 1 foot in the real world and 1 foot in the cloning center. You know, like, I got my job, I got my bills to pay, I got my work to do, I got my real life people that I know, and then my other foot is in the cloning center and talking about cloning and Vrils and Chipheads and getting the information out and realizing that there's a whole other reality that goes to this existence. It's tough to balance the two. I know what you're saying.
It's really weird whenever you get this feeling from somebody that they may be a handler.
Yes.
Like, they look at you a certain way or they say something, and there are some weeks or months that it's just constant from everybody.
Yeah.
And it really just makes me want to be alone.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
I feel you, man. You got to be careful. You know what my general rule is this. If it's just like a random situation and somebody's coming at me and they happen to be, oh, wow, this is perfect. I don't trust it, you know. But if I'm going to try to meet somebody and I see somebody, I'm like, oh, I want to meet that person, then that's not, it's less chances of it being a setup. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't usually like we are getting set up though, no doubt.
For sure. Like, out of all the people that I know, I'd probably say 15 to 20 of them are legit. And I can just tell just from the vibe of the person. Like, you can just tell just by like asking yourself, and you'll give yourself a very honest answer. And I think it's that easy just for us to be able to tell.
Yeah. Well, you know, there'll be days when your perception is at peak awareness, and then there'll be days when your perception is kind of not so peak awareness. You know what I mean? Like I'll have those ebbs and lows, highs and lows in that. You
Yeah.
know? So some days I'll be able to tell just like this, and some days I'll be like, huh? You know? But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Like,
but you know, when your instinct is working, work with it. You know what I mean? Definitely. Trust your guts. Trust your gut. You know, this happened to me recently too. Actually, when I met the dragon lady, somebody put a nail in my tire. I had to go get the car fixed at this one spot that was like half hour away from me, and there she was in the waiting room. And she was like all into everything I was saying. She was very charming, very cute, but she had a dragon tattoo on her arm, and I was like, oh, that's the clue, you know. And I remember for 1 second I saw fire coming out of her eyes, like she hated me, and I was like, uh-oh. Red flag. No, I will not be calling her back. You know what I mean? I don't want to get handled, you know. And if it really was somebody legitimately, oh, well, so what? Who cares? What? Wasn't meant to be anyway. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, it is that simple. It's just, like, I don't know. Like, I find myself conflicted because I have people on this side. It just goes back to, double think, I guess is what you would call it. But I've got like a whole group of people on this side that are kind of preaching a perspective or a philosophy. And then you got people over on here on this side that are doing the opposite. But you know that they're all good. It's just that the way that they think is completely different. And what I find both of them interesting. It's just, I guess, what I don't like is when people try to tell me how I should feel. Like, I've always been the person to put others before myself, and I think that because of that, I think life is now trying to teach me that I have to put myself before others.
Well, yeah, because if you,
But
yes, that's true. Because if you're not okay and in good shape and taking care of yourself, how are you going to help others? And you know, you got to make sure that you got enough water before you go and give somebody else water. Otherwise, you're going to be starving and fall down and turn to ashes before you can give somebody else any water, right?
yeah, absolutely. I just I don't like it when people say this is the ultimate truth and there's no wiggle room, because then it's like, well, what if the situation changes? You got to do something different. Like, I'm not a killer, but if, say, Jacob Rothschild were to approach me in the middle of the night and try and kill me, I'd probably kill him. Most likely would kill him. And it's like, all those little tiny details just get people into these, I don't know what you would call it. Because, like, there's this guy named Core Love or Corey Herter. And I think his information is very, very detailed and important for people in the cloning center movement to know about.
Right.
Because it's all about clearing memories and like energy and stuff. But it seems like every time I try to talk to people about Core Love in the cloning center movement, it always seems to be like resisted. And the same whenever I go and try and talk to Corey and his group about Donald. And it's like, my voice in my mind just says, cut through the bullshit. Say what other people aren't saying. And every time I do, it always gets me into trouble.
Now, what's this guy
And it's
Corey?
like-
What's this guy's name? Corey Love?
Core Love or Corey Herder?
Corey Herder or Corey Love? And he's like all about like keeping yourself, your chakras clear and all that stuff, like things.
Well, he's the same archetype as Spencer Eskridge. Like the same guy, pretty much.
Okay.
Except for a few differences. And seeing as the direction that Spencer has taken after he was, I guess, done with Donald, it makes sense that he would go and end up as a guy like that. Don't get me wrong,
Well,
the meditations and everything, they work.
Right.
It's really bizarre, actually.
Well, see, like
I don't.
The thing is, with a guy like Spencer and like he kind of teamed up with Og Tellez, and Og Tellez, even if he might be well intentioned, he never did nothing for me but confuse the shit out of me. And Spencer, I liked Spencer when he was first coming out and talking, you know, but I had to unfriend him from Facebook because I just didn't understand what the hell he was like. Does not compute? You know what I mean? And like I'm all for like spiritual cleansing and you know, getting yourself in shape. What do you call it? Electromagnetically, just so you can deal with your life and your day and everything. But I don't know about them guys. But yeah, if you want to look into this guy, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. Like, I try to bring up why the new agey spirituality movement that's going on, why it's just wrought with pitfalls. And I try to tell that to people, and they just say, Matt, you need to let go of your ego, or you need to, like, hold onto a crystal and clear your chakras and stuff like that. And it's like, I find no wiggle room with any of the groups. And, like, I think that that's what should set Donald Marshall's group apart from everybody, is because as much as they are holding up their shield to defend themselves, they should have the most open minds.
Well, yes.
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a time you should close mine.
The thing is with the Donald Marshall group and the people who are getting cloned, basically, is that they don't make any preferences on who they're going to clone. They'll clone anybody that can make them money. And it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, a Muslim, a New Ager, whatever, any kind of religion you could think of or any kind of belief system you could think of. If you can make them money, or if they want to rape you or use you, they will clone you. They'll take your DNA and use you. They don't care what your belief system is. So, I mean, that's probably why you got a lot of open-mindedness in the Donald Marshall group, because we're from all walks of life, right?
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with talking about cloning is that there are other things in life that are just as bad, you know, like, for instance, getting a disease or an injury that fucks you up for the rest of your life. Losing somebody that you really care about. Like, I mean, obviously you can't compare it, but I've had people argue to me that, like, whenever I would tell them about cloning and what they've been doing to me, they would kind of, like, shrug it off as if them taking care of their kids and being parents is just as much of a challenge as me talking about cloning and stuff. And I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to compare. I'm just going to say that the problem with talking about cloning and why it makes it so bad is because most people just don't believe or know or agree that it's happening.
What happens is you're poking at their bubble of reality. And their bubble of reality is, I'm taking care of my kids, I'm taking care of my family, and that becomes their whole life. And when you poke into that bubble with, hey, you know, they might be stealing your children's DNA and making them clones out of them and torturing them while they're in there sleeping. And these people don't want to know, because it's just, you know, it's hard. It's hard for normal people to accept that they have totally missed something, that it just went right over their head, and they cannot accept that they've made the mistake of not seeing it. So they just block it out and call you crazy because they can't accept that they've been wrong for so many years. That's cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, like it's I want to tell everybody that if they go around and tell people about Donald Marshall's information, like the truth about cloning and stuff like that, it will cause a hell of a lot of issues in your life.
Donald, I just want to say thank you. 1 second, Matt. I just want to say, Donald, thanks for showing up, man. Donald's going out of the chat now. Donald, thank you for being here and helping us out, man. I really appreciate it. You're the reason why I'm here doing this. I want you to know. And thanks again. All right,
yeah, later, Donald. No hard feelings, man.
Why would there be?
Because motherfucker blocked me last time.
Uh-oh.
Like, I don't know how many times now.
Let's not go there right now. Let's continue talking about the subject.
I'm just kidding. But, yeah, trust the process, because talking about this will get you into trouble. But if you keep talking about it, you will find a freedom that you can't find anywhere else. And good things will happen too, not just bad. And since I've already been talking to you for like 30 minutes, I just wanted to say one last thing before I go.
Okay.
Jack Black, I already made a video about this, but for those who don't know, I used to be one of his sex slaves, right? And I used to be transgender. But when I decided to not be transgender and not be his sex slave anymore, he literally beat me to a bloody pulp, stabbed me, did all kinds of fucked up shit to me. So that's the kind of person Jack Black is.
I kind of gathered that much. Yeah, I kind of gathered that much from just his. I don't know. He's all into that Satan shit. He's always so proud to be a Satanist.
Yeah.
I never dug that guy, really. I always thought he was a little creepy.
And the Tenacious D music, he didn't actually write.
No?
That was stolen.
Probably, yeah.
But I'm going to let you go. That way somebody else can call in.
Okay.
But thanks for having me on, man. It was nice talking to you.
All right, same here, man. Good to call in. Thank you for calling in. That was Matt Duke, everybody. Thanks, Matt.
Later.
All right, later. Okay. All right, we got the line open. If anybody else wants to call, that was a pretty clear call there. Sean, Plymouth, I don't know why your calls are all like not coming in clear. But anybody else want to call in, send a friend request to the what do you call it? We could talk about some cloning center experiences or whatever you have, you know. Carly's last one. Where is Lawrence Mountford in the chat? Somebody's asking. I don't know. You know what? I think it's like 3 o'clock in the morning over in England now, right? Isn't it 5 hours, 6 hours ahead? So it's probably in the middle of the night for Lawrence. Right? If you look at the... Okay, Betty Pack says, personal opinion, cloning and Vril are only one aspect of the evil. It has many facets. Isms, witches, Satanists, human sacrifice, secret clubs, mind control. Yeah. Yeah, it's mostly, oh, we got a call. Oh, here's Sean. All right, see. Plymouth Fury, how are you, sir? Hello?
Yo.
All right, how are you, man? I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Finally, it sounds clear. Can you? Yes.
What the fuck?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? He couldn't hear me. Okay, we got Charlie Evil calling up now. Hey, Sharice, what's up? Can you hear me?
What's up?
How you doing? All right.
Doing all right.
Good to hear you.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to say congratulations on the on the graduation from the thing there.
Yeah, it was an honor, actually. Yeah, being certified. No,
I'm glad you made it.
thanks.
So what's up? What do you want to tell everybody?
I want to tell everybody keep up the work. And if they want to be a part of this, they can my Facebook page, Stop Human Cloning.
All right, guys, you hear that? You're breaking up a little bit, but I'm going to see if I can repeat. Go to the Facebook page called Stop Human Cloning. That's Sharice's Facebook page, and I check that every so often, and every couple of days or so. A lot of good information there, guys. If you want to know about cloning and stuff.
Yeah, I've been following dogs since September 2015.
Okay. And how did you first hear about Donald?
Well, it was a group called Truth Speakers, and I was real. Okay, hold on. There's an echo.
You know what? Turn down whatever you got your YouTube on. Turn down whatever the YouTube's on, and just listen through the phone.
Okay.
Okay. You there?
Hold on there.
Okay. We got Sharice Franklin from Stop Human Cloning Facebook page.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I follow him since 2015. I was in that religious stuff about Christianity and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Real want to help out. Real want to help people.
Right, I hear you.
So I don't know if I'm really in cloning or not. So.
But
I've been doing this ever since.
When you heard the Donald's testimony and the people, and you realize that it's real, right? I mean, it's obvious to any intelligent person.
Yeah, I know it's real. Even Tilly Tequila talk about this stuff.
Yep.
So you should know it's not fake.
Yes. Oh, and I found those videos of Tila Tequila. If you guys out there want to check on the my playlist, it's called People Watch This. I found some old Tila Tequila videos, and I posted them on the playlist if you guys want to check those out. But yeah, Tila was talking about it, D.U.M.B.s talking about it, now Jack Black's talking about it, even though we don't like him. And the thing is to pile up the evidence. You know, I was thinking about how can we continue to pile up the testimonies and pile up the evidence so at some point it's going to become obvious to people that this stuff is real. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I know he's telling the truth because Tila Tequila's kid looked exactly like Donald.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, what's the kid's name? I never saw a picture of that kid. What's his name?
I think her name is Isabella.
Isabella? All right, I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Donald did say
it's not really his kid.
It's from the clone.
She just yeah.
Like one.
She just his clone sperm. So.
Right. Clone sperm is viable, guys. Clone sperm is viable. You know, they can have your clone have sex and then with a real woman, and then that'll make a baby. But the other way around, it doesn't work. Like you can't do it the other way around. But yeah.
Yeah, female clones can't get pregnant.
That's right. Yeah, because they're only the clones are they only live for about a couple of years, right, before they break down. The duplication clones.
Yep.
You know, but the other type of clones, the replication clones, the ones that are come up from a baby, those ones are just like a regular human. They could live as long as a regular human, you know. Like like Kurt Cobain or Mike Tyson, those couple of examples. You know. But oh man, this stuff is crazy.
It is crazy.
So let me ask you this: Do you know any people around that any other experiences or things that you have seen that have shown you that this is real? like you know, the testimony of Donald and the people that have talked about it, what stands out for you that helps you understand that this shit is definitely real?
Yeah, a lot stand out to me.
Yeah.
Some dreams I have a little bit, and some they make me a lesbian, and I really like guys, and
Mm-hmm. So you're probably at cloning.
so
You're probably at cloning.
yeah, probably,
You know.
probably. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to share something with you that I had recently an experience where I was like, you know how you said they try to make you into a lesbian, right? They try to make me gay.
Yeah.
Like I'm laying there. I have this recollection of I was laying there, right? And I was just like on a lay, and there was somebody laying next to me trying to touch me and stuff and trying to do things. And I was just like, get off, get off. I kept like, I was just laying there and like, just get off me, like sticking my elbow out and like, or kicking the person off of me. Like they were constantly trying to touch me and engage me. And I was like, no, no, no. I was just like, get off, get off, get off, like this, you know? And yeah, but they try to do, they test you. You know, Donald was saying that they will test you and try you in certain ways for whatever reason. I'm not sure what their whole reasons are, but yeah, they do that shit, you know?
Yeah, they do.
It's
just strange.
It's a violation. Yeah, they treat us like like livestock, you know? Like
Yeah.
like they would like a farmer would treat the lamb. They take the wool off the lamb. They take the bacon and the pork chops from the pigs. You know, they just take whatever they want. And the thing is that human beings, we have creative ideas. You know, we're imbued with this creativity. You know, that we can create stuff, and they will steal our creativity in the form of like ideas and stuff. Like you know, Donald, they took his songs. You know, mechanical inventions from people and all kinds of stuff, like as if we're just farm animals, you know. And part of that stuff is all the experimenting they do on us and the testing and trying us and all these different ways to see if they can change us into what we don't want to be. You know what I mean? That's part of it.
Yep.
And that's a violation of my I don't know if you want to call it my rights, but I feel violated when they do that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, don't do that to me. Yeah, disgusting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just not normal people. It's celebrities too. They're victims also.
Yes. Yeah, the celebrities are victims too, because you see, they go into wanting to be famous. They sign this contract and they think it's just a joke or something, and it ends up being a real serious deal. And you know, pretty much they just kind of like sign their life away. They have no choice after that. You know, it's not easy.
It's not.
It's just, oh god.
That's why I'm here to help all the victims, including celebrities, including normal people.
I appreciate you there, Sharice. I really do. You know,
Thanks.
I look at your channel and I'm like, oh, thank God Sharice is there. You know, because I'm just like, sometimes I get stressed and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell, you know? It's just, you know, it's not easy. Like even tonight, I'm not up to this tonight. I don't feel like being here tonight. I just, you know, I feel like crap tonight. But I say, what the hell, I'll be here anyway, just because it's like, I look at it as a job, really, basically. I got to do what I got to do, you know? I know about this stuff. I got to talk about it. I got to, like, you know, put a platform for people who are involved in this to get together and talk about it, because basically nobody else is doing it. So I said, well, it's got to be done, so I might as well do it. I could do it every Wednesday. Here I am doing it. Here I am again doing it. Oh, jeez. You know, but I you know, a lot of times I don't even want to do it. I just want to stay home or, you know, whatever, you know. But it's got to be done, so we got to do it, right? Got to do what you got to do. Otherwise it ain't going to get done. That's what I feel like, you know. If there's got to be done, something's got to be done, guess what? You got to do it, and if it didn't get done, you still got to do it. So now, what are you going to do? Oh, well, you just got to do it, right? Still. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, I had too much coffee. Don't listen to me too much. Buzzing on the coffee.
And some of you think that's all celebrities are bad. Not all of them are bad.
Yeah, right. You're
Not
right.
all of them.
Not all of them. A lot of them got suckered in, you know, and then they realized it and they're like, oh my God, I just signed a deal with the enemy, you know? Yeah, they're not all bad. You know, they're trying to help. Some of them are trying to help. Like I hear Liam Neeson's a really cool guy,
Yeah.
you know? What are we going on? 105 minutes now? It's 105. Anything else you want to say, Sharice, to everybody out there?
Just keep up the good work. Keep on fighting. Not just for Donald, for everybody.
Okay, hear that, guys?
And help others. Help yourself. And that's all I have to say.
Okay. Sharice, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate you very much for being there for us all, and thank you for setting up the Stop Human Cloning Facebook page. It's been a real asset to the whole thing. I mean, hugely.
Yeah, no problem. I do what I can.
You're awesome. You're freaking awesome.
Thanks. Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm here to save the world, save everybody.
I hear you, man. We got to save each other,
Yeah.
you know? Everybody got to help each other, you know? That's the way it's going to work, you know? If we all help each other, then things will be great, you know? It's when we just
stop fighting each other.
Yeah, it's when we just only start helping ourselves and screwing everybody else and everything goes down the drain. You know what I mean? You know? Okay, Sharice, so we'll end the call there. We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, my dear.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for calling in. Say good night to Sharice, guys. Thank you.
All right, good.
All right. Okay. All right, guys, that was Sharice from the Stop Human Cloning on the check out Stop Human Cloning on Facebook. That's what do you call it? A good nerve center of all connections to find out what's going on. Let me put the temperature up in here. It's getting a little cold. All right, what do we got now? Charles B. Can I call and talk for about 2 minutes? Yeah, Charles, do you have did you send me a friend request? Let me see the friend requests here. If I have already accepted your friend request, then you can call in. Just go ahead and call in if you want to do that, Charles. Oh yeah, okay. Let me see. All right, here we go. Confirm. Okay, now I got your friend request. I confirmed you, so you can call in now. Okay, Charles B, go ahead and call in. Okay. Okay, we got Charles B on the line. How are you, Charles?
Hi.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, and you?
Not bad, hanging in there. Doing the best I can.
I'm calling from Quebec, so that's my accent. Sorry, everyone.
It's okay, that's fine.
Okay, so I just wanted to say something. I had a friend that got drawn one time.
Yeah.
And it's about gathering the evidence, like you're talking about.
Yes.
So if it happens to someone that you have a friend, I suggest to film it, because I was talking to her boyfriend. It's weird because I hear my echo.
Oh yeah, turn down whatever you have a YouTube on. Just lower the where is YouTube? Okay.
Okay, I'm only on Facebook. Well, anyways, I'm gonna talk. So during that period, it was a woman. She had a boyfriend, And it lasted a couple of days, and then she was really weird. She was a Christian, and she was always thinking that demons were invading her head.
Right.
So at that time, I didn't know about the droning. And her boyfriend told me that one time they were in the bath, and he was looking at her eye, and he said, I saw a sign of a dollar sign in her eye moving. So it was probably the worm, like Donald said.
Yeah.
So I suggest that if we want to gather some evidence, people that see people getting, like, on the process of getting drone, I know it's bad, but we could film it, and that would be an evidence. I know it must not happen a lot, but that could be an evidence. And another evidence I think we could have is the implants. People that have implants in their bodies, that's another evidence that we could relate to the transfer of consciousness.
Okay, did you guys hear that? That's talking about implants as evidence, and the trying to get photographic evidence of the droning process, whether it's after the drones have been infected. Now, let me ask you a question. When this girl had this thing in her eye, was her eye bulging out, or the guy just like saw a worm in her eye, or what was that exactly again?
I didn't see it, but he told me, like I said, that one time they were in the bath because he wanted to get her calm because she was getting very fucked up in her head. And I didn't see it, but that's what he told me. And this guy, he didn't know anything about aliens or stuff.
Oh.
He was coming to me because I was the only one talking about aliens.
And he saw like her eye bulging out, and she was freaking out.
No, he just saw something move in her eyelid.
Inside her eyelid, like under her eyelid?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know exactly where, but he said I was looking at her eye and I saw like a dollar sign in her eye, and it was moving.
Wow. So like a thing was
So
going around.
if it happens to someone, I suggest to try to film it, and that could be an evidence.
That sounds like a good idea, man. It sounds like a good idea.
That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you for that, man. I appreciate
So have a good night.
Thank you, Charles. I appreciate your input. That's very helpful, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Have a good night. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Okay. And photographic evidence, guys. That's what I wish I would have done when I saw that guy with the bulging eyeball. I should have took a picture of that right away. But it's kind of hard when you're thinking of, when it's happening to think about taking a picture. But photographic evidence is also something that'll help us prove this, as in gathering of evidence. Okay, guys. All right, what else do we got here? Okay. Well, hold on. Okay, now I got to read along with the chat a little bit here. Sean, try to call me up, Plymouth. Where are you? Get that thing fixed. A worm in the eye's moving. It's not a vril. It might be like some kind of other thing now. Okay, we got Cindy Harris on the line. Hello, Cindy, you're on. Hello?
Go or anything?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing, Cindy?
Hi, how are you?
Not doing so well.
Never mind, don't tell me. You already told me. You're not going to be able to tell a drone by a squiggly dollar sign in the eye. That's silly. That is just plain old silly.
Oh, okay. No, you'd more be able to tell. See, there was probably some eye infected worm or something, like one of those eye worms or whatever it's called. A drone, you'll notice by the eye bulging out. The whole eye will be bulging.
Well, yeah, I imagine so if they got a bad droning experience. But you know what? There's drones out there, their eyes don't bulge out at all because sometimes they're passed out and they don't fight, so they don't get eye damage. And they're not going to do it where you can take no picture of it. That stuff's done in underground or in government facilities or in, doctor's offices where it's very secluded.
Right.
And people are getting so darn paranoid. But if you want proof about cloning, we got to have some good questions to these people that call in.
Okay.
like learn how to interview me.
Okay, so what would you say would be the best way to prove that it exists?
That exists?
That the cloning is happening?
Well, I think that I was convinced that cloning existed whenever I first heard Don's testimony. But I had done studies before that, studying about the Illuminati. So I was connecting the dots all together. But the minute I started to believe, I wanted not to believe. Because that was just horrendous. So I tried to talk myself out of thinking that, Don's story was real.
Mm-hmm.
But then being a prayerful woman, I knew his story was real. So I went to doing what I do. And I tell you, I went through so many MK Ultra experiences after that. It would have made you think you were crazy. And I've always had a sound mind. And I would have even calling myself thinking I was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just so many coincidences that can't be coincidences.
Exactly.
And a person who knows that they're targeted knows they're targeted. I've been targeted since I was a little bitty girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got long stories of telling you why I think that what Donnie is saying is true. I could go back to my childhood and things that happened there. I was raised in a military family.
Okay.
And did a lot of hospital time as a child because I was sick a lot.
Okay.
And my dad worked at Area 51. And we saw a UFO on the way home from the hospital when I was getting my tonsils sewed back up. I think I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. I don't know.
Okay.
But more than just that, I mean, dreams. I've experienced the sleep paralysis almost all my life, but mostly in my earlier years. But so has my daughter, so is my aunt, so is my mother.
Okay.
And I think not just am I targeted, I think my whole family was.
Yeah, they do that. They do that.
They don't just stop at one. And as far as them pitting you against people, they'll do that. And they will set you up too. But I don't think that we need to live our lives in paranoia. That what we need to do is learn what they do, which is attack any kind of fear, any kind of paranoia, any kind of vulnerability in your life, and twist it all around to make you feel and look even crazier.
That's right. Yes. No, I agree with that. They do try to drive you crazy. They really do. They try to discredit you. They try to make you have outbursts and get arrested and look like a damn fool.
I know that. And when I first learned about cloning, and I had accepted that there's just so many things that are not right, and there's so many things that are matching up to where I know this is true. And I had actually accepted the belief that, I can't deny this anymore. I wept first for a long time, but then I went through, some MK Ultra experiences that were just horrible. Like, I call it my 3 days ablaze.
Okay.
Or my road trip.
All right.
Till I get my mind right again. But there's just so many things. But it's hard to explain. And I don't know. You'd have to ask me questions.
All right. Let's say, give me one example of of an experience that you had that related, like say from your childhood, something that you related to later on in life, like recently, that you look back and said, oh, damn, that was from cloning, or that was something that happened because of the, that makes me believe that this is really true?
Well, I had reoccurring dreams as a child of hands flying at me, down toward me, always towards my throat. And I'd wake up as a child terrified of hands. And as I grew older, a lot of the abuses that happened in my life happened to be men choking me.
Wow.
For some reason, I got choked a lot. So I had this horrible phobia of hands.
Gotcha.
So much so I couldn't even wear a necklace. Tied her up around my neck. And that was one of the things, one of the fears that I broke after I understood what was going on with MK and how it is used through REM and the cloning centers. And I just decided in my heart I was going to bust through every fear I had, and I was going to come out on top, and I wasn't going to let this destroy my life, and I was going to help somehow.
Good for you.
So I keep trying.
That's all we can do, you know. Keep praying, trying,
That's
trusting
right.
God, you know. I don't know if you ever seen the Three Hearts Church videos. She was actually one of the first Christian people to actually you know, what do you call it, support the stories that the stories that I've been saying on my YouTube channel about 3 years ago. She said she had prayed to God and God had guided her into all these you know, facts of what was going on, that he wants it to be known to people, you know.
Well, yeah, I know. I've listened to her minister a few times whenever she was talking about cloning more, and she still brings up a lot of Illuminati stuff. She doesn't get all her all of the things right that she's trying to say. I think she's misunderstanding a lot of stuff, but she's a good-hearted lady.
Right. You know,
Yeah,
we're all trying the
just
best we
because I
can.
claim the word Christian doesn't mean I ain't a for real person. I don't even like being called a Christian, to tell you the truth. I just like being called a child of God, because I think the Luciferians named us that when they just wanted to hurdle us in and just destroy us all for even trying to believe that the way I believe about Jesus. But
yeah, I feel
put that aside, because I know there's a lot of people in the group here that are not into religion at all, and there's a big old fuss and cussing about calling them aliens, calling them demons, calling them whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
You know, what do they? You know, it whatever they are, they're not friendly, and we don't need to make them out to be somebody that's trying to help us when they're killing us, sucking our blood, and raping our children, and stealing our talents.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So it doesn't matter to me what they are. I just know that they exist. You know, I've tried to talk, get to my father to talk, and I haven't been able to get him to talk, but I know he knows, and he knows I know he knows. Now, I don't think that I think my mother's memory repressed, but they are so good at changing the story and the storyline. You know, it's almost, I don't watch movies or hardly don't know a lot of actresses and stuff, but there was that one Men in Black where they had that little thing where clink and you forgot.
Yeah.
Or you change the story and it becomes something else.
The neuralizer. The neuralizer. Look at this little red dot. Boink. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, you know, when you're a child and you hear stories that happen, it goes deep in your heart when you're a kid, because you heard it from your lips of your mother, your aunt, or, you know, and you're just a kid listening, and it goes deep. And then after you're grown and you bring up, well, Mom, remember when you told me this or that or the other? Oh, no, that didn't happen. Oh, you don't remember that. You know, it kind of gets to you after a little while. And if you're in a family where a lot of people are targeted, boy, I tell you, those stories change like Christmas lights blinking.
Yeah.
It's not fun, you know.
Yeah.
But in order to get people to wake up to the reality of the cloning, they're going to have to go inside themselves to look at how they feel about what has happened all throughout their lives and their coincidences and what their dreams have been like. And they'd have to actually probably open a book and actually study something. But some people just won't, because that normality bias is so strong. It's scary not to be normal.
Yes.
You know, you want to fit in. You spend your whole life trying to fit in. That's what peer pressure is. And then when you realize, hey, you know what? That it wasn't me fitting in. It was them fitting me into a box that they, you know, you don't want to stay. You can't live in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just got to let it out. And I've told all my friends and family and just about everybody who's willing to listen, I'll be gentle. I don't push it. But there's ways for those conversations to come up. And if you've got any humor, you can use that to lead into conversations. But more and more people have known. I found out like 4 years ago, and there was hardly any feed like there is now going through the internet. I mean, every time Donnie let something out, they would just smother us with propaganda. And, you know, you can get just enough truth to inoculate you to where you don't catch the whole thing, the real truth. Yeah. You know, that's why it's important for us to remind people that the cloning centers and the REM, random access memory sleep, whatever,
rapid eye
that's
movement.
the way they get us.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy way to catch them. I mean, everybody's talking about busting into this base, busting into that. Once you bust into your own consciousness and find out what's going to be able to get you up on top to where these people can't mess with your brain. Know what you believe in your heart. And then when some crazy thought comes across your mind, say, hey, no, I ain't going for that. I got my own direction. I got my own will. I got my own life. And I know how to pray.
Right. It's right.
You know, people just get so scared and run and hide and cry and get on there and bawl and squall. That ain't gonna help.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. When you have the moral fortitude to do the right thing for yourself and for others, they won't be able to mess with you at the cloning center and making you do all crazy stuff, right?
No, they're gonna mess with your weak spot.
Your weak spot.
Now,
exactly.
If you're strong in one area, that any strength that you overuse becomes a weakness anyway. Because if you're like a real strong leader, you might end up being a control freak.
Yeah.
But there's balance in all things.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and we got to find our balance in all this. And, you know, we think we can't have a victim mentality. I mean, I don't want to walk around all paranoid and feeling like a victim. That is not what God wants for me, in my opinion.
I agree, 100%.
He wants me to overcome, and I'm damn well determined.
You want to be a victor, not a victim.
Heck yeah.
You know?
I ain't going to have them playing with my brains when I know they played with my brains all my life. When I was a kid in military schools, they would teach us transcendental meditation and teach us to talk to aliens.
Okay.
And, you know, we'd be in this line on this big, huge gymnasium floor laid all out, and they'd have this weirded out music on and some lights up at the top of the room, and they would have someone on a loudspeaker talking you into imagining these alien ships and going in to talk to these aliens. Now, that's not normal. I mean, I'm 50 years old, to tell you the truth. I'm not a really young woman. So this was way back, 45, 47 years ago. I was maybe in second grade, first grade.
Okay.
You know, so they have an agenda, and they've had this agenda all along. You know, and it's really to make us their subjects. Because after they got through with me, after they finally finished that program, they stopped doing that. I guess there was some complaints or something. But I kept on talking to those demons. You know, or aliens, whatever you want to call them. I don't know all the different names people call them, this archon, this and that, whatever. What's the P word they use?
There's a lot of different,
I don't care if you label them. I just don't like them boogers.
Yeah, the bad guys.
The bad guys. Yeah, that's the ones. Them ones.
Them guys. Yeah.
I don't like them at all. You know, but there was a time when I was a child, I wasn't raised in a Christian family. I was atheist. I got born again in the cotton field, just me and God. I was begging for my life because I was at the point of suicide after getting the shit beat out of me.
Uh-huh.
And I had no place to live, and I had little kids, and I was hopeless. You know, but I'm just saying that I'm lucky to be alive. I mean, my stepfather tried to kill me in utero. So if aliens are so big, or demons, or whatever you want to call them, if they're so big, I'd be dead already.
Mm-hmm.
How many times I've skirted death? I'm not gonna be afraid of them fuckers.
Good for you. You hear that, guys? Don't be afraid of those fuckers.
Yeah, that probably if Donnie was listening right now, he'd say, yeah, if you saw him, you'd shit your britches too. But I tell you what, I have seen some in my dreams, and I have fought them in my dreams. I've flown cars over big, huge fire lake waters, screaming at them suckers. You know, and they do pit people against each other, because they pit me against my mother all my life. And I remember some of those dreams when I had paralysis, sleep paralysis, waking up in those dreams. It was when my mother was, her and I coming at each other, and she would turn into one of them monster-looking teethy things right in front of me, and I would start trying to do my religious, the way I was so religious then, you know, I was like, in the name of what, you know, I was trying to do what I'd been taught with religion, which was really not the way it's done, and it's stupid what I was doing, but I would try to do it, and I couldn't even talk, because I was paralyzed. I mean, I couldn't even talk, man. I was at the mercy of this.
Right.
But I guess my fear was so much, I would eventually wake myself up that I was still in that dreaming. My body was like totally paralyzed, but in my mind, all I am is replaying the last part of that horrible dream, trying to shake it until I can finally move or talk and get up. And it shakes you up for a while.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't had but maybe a half a dozen or more dreams since I found out about REM cloning.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I know they were cloning dreams. They're real particular not to allow me to have dream. I get real mad.
You can tell because it's like you were there. You know what I mean?
That's right. I think the last one I remember was an awkward one, because I was on a mountain climbing in the snow, and I looked down there and I saw somebody, and I've gotten to where I'm so sensitive when I dream that if I actually feel myself dreaming, I'll wake up. You know, unless I've wanted to dream. There was a time when I didn't have a dream for 2 weeks, and I was really questioning the whole scenario when I first found out, and I was praying for a dream, and it took me 2 weeks of praying just to get a dream. And then it was a very, very short dream, but it was not an icy, you know, it wasn't a nice dream. I was in a bathroom getting all dressed up pretty, and there were people around me, and they were nice and they were kind, and we went out into a little room, and I was somehow had an incentive knowing that I was going to some kind of a party. And I was kind of excited about that and getting to know the people that were in the room. And this beautiful woman comes up to the little round table I'm sitting at. She has this curly hair. And I look at her and I think, man, your hair looks just like my sister's hair. You know? I said, but you don't look like my sister. You know, and I was thinking these things and like, well, come on, it's time to go, you know? And I thought, didn't know where we were going, but all of a sudden I had an irk in my spirit, like I shouldn't go with these people. You know?
Right. Yeah.
But I went because I didn't want to be weirded out. Well, the minute we got into the hallway before and started to walk down, and I said, wait a minute, I know where you're going, and I know what you're going there. We're going there for. And in my mind, it was for them to switch my body. And I started to fight, and the last thing I knew, I was conked out and I woke up.
I see. Yep.
They were going to put me in another person's body in my dream, and I don't know how that was the dream I got after praying for weeks. I couldn't figure it out.
Wow.
But in my mind, I was like, man, that is not normal. And then I think another dream way later, recently, was when I was in the snow, and I looked down there, and it looked like this guy that was, what do you call that? There was an old show. I never watched much TV, but as a kid I did.
Mm-hmm.
And there was that? Grizzly Adams. I thought he was Grizzly Adams, but he wasn't. He wasn't Grizzly Adams. He looked kind of like him.
Right.
And I looked closer. He looked almost like Barry Gibbs.
Oh, he had the Dan Haggerty hairdo with the beard and long hair and the beard, right?
I think it was one of the. I think it was somebody else, but it was just. I don't know, but I woke up immediately because I don't even like being around people in my dream now. I'm so dream sensitive.
Well,
You know.
Yeah, it's almost like an automatic. It's almost like an automatic mechanism. Like when you're like I've had this experience also when dreaming, and you realize at that moment that this can't be a dream. It's got to be in the cloning center, and you have a moment where you sort of realize that you're being messed with, and then all of a sudden you force yourself to wake up, right?
Yeah, I have had them let me have a regular dream before, because I remember just throwing as many fits as I could in my prayer life, and I was tense, and that next day I was doing something I love. I was doing some pottery. I love to do pottery and ceramics and stuff. I was just enjoying the heck out of the hobby that I haven't done for a long time, and I love, and I had so much peace in that dream. And sometimes I think they'll even give you a calming dream to cool you down at the end of all the abuses you suffered before in the night.
Yeah,
They're tricky. They're freaking tricky.
They are tricky as hell. Jeez, they really are.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying though.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to call in and say hello and tell y'all that you ain't gonna see no dollar signs, squiggly thing, take no picture of it, and prove no drone. And there ain't no good aliens. And Don's telling the truth. And a whole lot of us know it because we've seen our own coincidences. And when you have coincidence after coincidence after coincidence after coincidence slapping you around day after day, week after week, year after year, and you're not even looking for them, it's not just synchronicity. After a while, it's them toying with you.
Yes.
And you know what? You don't want to be their toy. Well, you know what? Greater is he that's in me, and I ain't gonna bow down to I don't care if it's an alien or demon or whatever the heck you want to call them, blood-sucking, lying things.
Yeah, I agree with you. I believe that too. Great.
But we're supposed to be being comical. I'm usually comical. I usually make everybody laugh, but it's such a serious topic to try to be a comedian on. I feel for you, brother. I like your sock puppets, though, and I'm getting used to your little, what do you call him?
My troll.
Your troll, yeah.
My little troll.
The troll of all trolls. and the puppet without a tongue.
The sock puppet.
Yeah,
the real sock puppet.
but if you're gonna try to get McAllister on here, I'll have you know that on her last show before last, she was talking about that sock puppet thing and movies about that. Boy, they better not think of you that way, because we're just trying to make a good comedy so we can discuss some serious things and have some fun while we're at it.
Yeah, I'm not professional. I've never had any training as a broadcaster or anything. This all started as me just doing a diary video, and then next thing I knew, everybody wants me to make more videos, and now it's a weekly live stream, and I'm just doing this basically because no one else is doing it, and it has to be done. That we got to gather.
Good job, because you need to pull us together. We need to be able to come together to talk.
Exactly.
And that's not easy to do. I mean, I'm glad we're grouping together. How many years went by when nobody talked to anybody and we didn't even have a group?
Exactly. That's why I was all like, wait a minute, we got to, get this going, because it's been years, and every time people started to try to get the group up, there was always something that a wrench would be thrown into the works and mess it all up, and everybody would just be like, oh, forget it again, well, it didn't work again. You're like, So I said, the hell with it. I'm going to do every Wednesday like a hammer. Bang on Wednesday. Every Wednesday. I don't care if I feel like good or bad. I'm going to do it every Wednesday. Like right now, today, I feel like crap. I want to go home. I'm tired. But I'm here anyway. I'm still doing it.
Well, we're going to hear all kinds of things, because just like in the Cloning Center group, you'll see feeds on there that are just ridiculous, and then you'll see some that'll just make your eyes pop out and you'll say, oh my gosh.
Yes.
But at the same time, we don't need to make this as like an entertainment too. We can make anything like entertainment.
Exactly.
But what we're really trying to do is get the word out.
Yes, you're right. And I'm just here just to be here, you know, whether it's entertaining or not, it doesn't matter. The point is to get out the information about the cloning, the Vril, and the Chipheads. Those three topics.
We'll be entertained enough just from the callers that come in with the peculiar questions and reading the feed.
Yes. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I don't know what else I would give for as evidence of why I believe that REM conscious transfer is true and that cloning facilities exist all over the earth and they're being used to manipulate and control people, other than my own personal stories. You know, things I've seen with how things went with my family and in my family line, and how things have went with me and my dreams and my history. And you're right about them sending people into your life to mess you up and spill you around, because I spent years and years, you know, being messed around with, and I know that there's several people that were sent in my life to set me off guard, and I was too stupid to know it, but thank God I know better now, so that I can guard my heart. I won't end up marrying a freaking alien.
Yes. What does it say?
You know, I mean, that's sick.
What does it say in the Bible? You got to be as innocent as children, but as wise as serpents, right?
Yeah, it says harmless as doves, wise as serpents.
Okay, harmless as dove, but wise as serpents. That's what I've learned to be now. Wise as a serpent. When something's too good to be true, you know.
Ain't nothing perfect, is there?
Yeah. No, you're right.
No, nothing but God is perfect. No, I tell you what, my too good to be true wasn't because of that. I was just, I think that when they do the MK Ultra, if you're very susceptible to it and you don't even know what it is, just like Don said, a very attractive woman can get with a really cruddy, probably even an alien, you know, and she won't even know it in her mind. You know, he done saved her life and he's going to be the answer to all problems.
Yep.
You know, but if you don't know that, you won't even be on the lookout for that. And there's probably people that I could have been a good influence to and could have helped me in my life more, and there could have been good, you know, community type there that I just, you know, what's wrong with that? I had a weird feeling about that person, wouldn't even go on ahead and talk to him, you know. So I don't try to judge everything, because I think that if we try to judge everything and everybody, then all we're going to do is get more confused. You know, you just make sure you're walking your walk right, you're doing what you know you should do, and keep that still small voice or that inner man open to a good direction that's safe for you. And don't be afraid to step out and talk to people you don't know. You know, and if you feel like somebody does give you a bad vibe, don't think that their bad vibe's bigger than your good vibe. I mean, God's bigger than a micro anything.
Yes,
Macro, micro, whatever. You know, to me, I just refuse to live like that, because I did. You know, I fell into it. There was a good little while that I was letting everything that was going on steal my peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I refuse to do that now. And I can still do what I do. And more people are opening up and listening and talking about it. Because they already know what Cindy believes. Eventually they get me in a little corner to listen a little more. And then they go to clicking on things and the word does get out. There's nothing better than the four winds, you know, the whispering winds that just people telling each other. You know, you might think even if they don't believe in, they walk out and they don't, you know, and they mock you or whatever, you know, give it some time a little bit down the line, they're going to see something else that plugs in a little plug into that. Hey, maybe you ought to wake up and pay attention.
Yeah, just another little piece of the puzzle. Another little piece of the puzzle.
Right.
And they'll be like,
we just have to be patient with people.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time.
Yeah.
You know, like,
but look how far we've come just in a short few years.
Yeah.
I mean, what has it been, 7 or 8 years since Don first came out and spoke with all this, and it's in the last 4 years, I've seen more fly across the internet pages than I ever saw before about, I mean, people didn't even know the word Illuminati hardly. Now everybody knows that word.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, we look at it like, oh my God, we're not getting nowhere. But if we open our eyes a little bit bigger, you know, people know who Fritz Springmeier is and who David Icke is. They never knew that before. They didn't know who what is it, that other guy that has a squeaky little voice I can't stand that just got shut off on YouTube. That was a big one. People didn't know who he was either
Joseph Watson.
4 years ago. Now everybody knows his name.
Yeah.
Not that he's anything good. He's one of them too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably all down there. I don't know which ones are memory pressed or which ones aren't. I'm not saying all people, but most of the ones that have a big old plug in there, you know, they're not going to leave them people alone.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones trying to get the word out or trying to learn about it at least. And they don't know to believe Donnie. They need to look at it more closer. I wish they would. Mm-hmm. We need some people out there that have some pull. But you know, when you were talking about McAllister,
yeah,
I don't know. I like her. She's cool and everything, but at the same time, I don't know. I have a kind of little in my spirit when it goes to that, because I really think that she's down with them too, but she's still trying to get the word out. But at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I know what you're saying. Like just the word Alistair kind of screws me a little bit. Like with Alistair Crowley, you know.
No, that's funny.
And you know, there's people, you know, and celebrities. You know how celebrities, they call them A-listers. You know what I mean?
Oh.
A-listers, A-listers. You know, I always thought that was.
I think
weird.
she's a good lady trying to get the word out the best she can, but I think she knows more than she lets on.
Well,
and I think she has I don't know, but I think she has a reason for doing it. I think a lot of people that whistle, the reason why is they're pissed off.
Right.
You know, and they had to get pissed off enough to whistle, because they know there's going to be a comeback for any kind of whistling that goes on.
Yes, and she did.
And it ain't like whistling Dixie when you start talking about the cloning centers and the Vril.
Oh, you're right about that. And she did have a career in television in the past, so she had to maybe sign some contract.
She was very, very, very well known and very common for a while. That's why her following is so big. Yeah. But I guess she didn't get another show up. That might be who then did it. But I don't know. She could be totally memory repressed, not there at all. Or maybe she is and isn't memory repressed, but we don't know. And if they aren't memory repressed, they're not going to volunteer the information so that they can get eaten by a Vril that night.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so they can have their children threatened.
Exactly,
you know, it's not that kind of party.
Yeah.
It's a party you don't want to go to, but if you get mad enough, you'll try to spill. And then even when they do spill, everybody wants to treat them like they're the villain.
Yeah.
You know, even if for a little spill. Because then they go on and about try to discount themselves, make themselves look crazy because they get threatened even more. Like you were talking about tequila a while ago.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the same damn story.
Totally discredited her.
She went out for trying to tell, and look how she got backed off, and now how she talks now.
Yeah.
That's a sign right there in front of somebody's face. If they could open their eyes, how many times somebody all of a sudden either go crazy, die of a heart attack, get a brain tumor, or all of a sudden die for who knows whatever reason. You know, I mean, there's a long list.
They got to be real slick.
Of people who died for the cause.
They got to be real slick about how they let the information out. Otherwise, they're going to get the, you know.
Well, it's scary to them, I imagine, too.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, you know, when they do, how many of us get behind them? I mean, how many of us, after they do that, most of the people that are calling them every kind of word and a bad name, because you know they're going to put a bad rap on them. So now all of a sudden they were good, they were making money, and then they whistle, and all of a sudden they're broke, and everybody thinks they're the son of the devil.
Yeah, like they were trying to do that to, what's this guy's name? Owen Benjamin. He was like a big comedian. He worked in Hollywood and TV shows and everything. And then he started talking about, like, you know, Hillary Clinton and eating babies and stuff. And now he's like, he's doing a home podcast thing. Doing well, but I mean, he's one of them guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like kind of,
I'm sure I've listened to a lot of those videos and seen that one comedian guy talk about he was coming out waving a gun around saying they're trying to make me this, they're trying to make me that, and he didn't end up being a big comedian because he obviously didn't want to take the show.
Oh,
I don't know what happened to him. I can't even remember his name.
Dave Chappelle, was that Dave Chappelle?
Probably.
There's a
Probably.
story.
I have a.
There's a story going around about Dave Chappelle that there was this one lady that was his closest friend, and she came out and said that, you know, Dave went to go make a deal with these people and said that he was going to come back and tell her how it went, and he never came back and told her. Basically, she said that he was killed and replaced by a clone. Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, I think his relatives were saying that too, but even when you listen to those videos, it sounds so awkward.
Yeah.
You know, like who's who and what's really going on. You never can tell.
Well, Chappelle's cousin, somebody says. Yeah, Tim Parrish says. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
I listened to that.
You know, we're treading on what you call new frontiers of information here. Like, this has never been really released to the public or even plotted through by people to try to decipher out what's the actual reality of it and what's the bull crap, you know. And so it's not easy for us to do this. You know, I mean, it's just something we're treading here where angels fear to tread, as it were. You know what I mean? So we got to kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Don't you think?
Yeah, we are. But, you know, like you said earlier in the show, you know, back in the days when conspiracy theory was labeled because of JFK, you know, there was only a few that knew. But now we pretty much know that a whole lot goes down in governments all over the world that are not the way it really occurred. Because, you know, we know Agent Orange, we know what they did we know what they do on purpose. And if people who think that their government's going to protect them need to go back and read their history.
Yeah.
You know, because they're not out there to protect you. They're out there to protect their own asses and get what they want. There's an agenda behind it. They're being controlled by aliens.
Yeah. They're out there for the power, the money, just to keep us all down.
Well, it just depends on the level of greed at somebody's heart, how high they climb up the ladder to that insanity. You know, but, you know, people like us that are probably in this group, we're not starving for fame or attention or money or power or control. We just want to live our lives.
Right.
You know, and I don't blame people out there for wanting to raise their kids and live their lives. But the thing is, what are they doing to your freaking kids while they're asleep?
Yeah.
How many kids are waking up these days holding their booties because they had night terrors and they go to the doctors to get on drugs?
Yeah. So,
I mean, how many little children are actually being woken up in the middle of the night with all kinds of night terrors, which did not happen 100 years ago? Yes. And they put little kids on drugs for this.
That's money.
Now, that ought to be proof enough itself.
That's money for the pharmaceutical companies, you know? And it's also... Also
see what they did? See what they torture your kid in your kid's REM sleep, and then your kid goes through all kinds of troubles, and you're thinking, well, I just want to raise my kids and live my life. Well, guess what? They're helping you raise your kids in the middle of the night. And they're not raising them right. They're raping them, torturing them, killing them. And as far as them not kidnapping kids, they do, but usually from the countries where there's a lot of migrants and that they can get away with getting some parents even sell their children, thinking that their children will go to a better life, and then they do. They go right down to the cloning center and get whatever.
Yeah, killed by Vrils or raped.
You know, so it's a whole lot bigger than people think. They want to go down to who's who in the clone zoo. But it's more about who's who than in the clone zoo, and it's more than about, you know, it's about really what's happening in our lives, all of our lives. Because this doesn't just affect a few, it affects the whole planet. You know, 100 years ago, Elvis Presley, everybody was shaming, oohing on because he wiggled his hip. Yeah. That wasn't even 100 years ago, really.
Yeah, like 50 years ago.
A little less than that. You know? Can you imagine how far we come? Now, how did we get from there to here if it wasn't them using technical advances against us?
Yeah.
And the way that Don explains how RAM conscious cloning transfer works, dang, that makes it like, yeah, I can see how we could get from there to here with that kind of technology, especially if we have flesh-eating monsters in cloning centers pushing people around, and people who are dead chip heads giving into their every whim because they're afraid, and maybe they've had their family for generations and generations and generations in this cult.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't until the 40s that they started bringing the little people in. What is this, 2020? Do the math. I mean,
60 years.
We've come a long way, and our cultures have changed a long way, and I can see every prophecy that I know of being fulfilled and have been fulfilled just in my life. Biblical prophecies, but there's other prophecies. And those prophecies just wrap all around it, and Don ties it up with a great big bow that says, hey, y'all, they got cloning centers, and they're real, and they're using your DNA against you.
Yep.
And people want to laugh that off and want to find a squiggly freaking dollar mark in somebody's eye, take a picture and prove something? Come on.
Mm.
You know, let's get real. And there ain't no hybrid half demon, half man that's going to protect you from nothing. There's no Pleiadian whatever girl that's going to rescue you out of the sky. Okay? It's not like what we read and see. It's bigger than that, way bigger. People think little bitty bitty bitty.
Yeah.
But if they did read the pro boards, and I've read a lot of the programs, but not on the pro boards, all of it, because I have a hard time getting in there. But I have gone in there and read a lot, and I've read a lot of feeds. I remember, what's that young man's name? He always put a lot of the program. He knew how to take the stuff out of the pro boards and make little pictures to go with it, and he would just he blocks everybody. What was his name? Phil.
The Elvis
Chupa.
Oh,
Phil Chupa.
Phil Chupa.
Yeah, him and I were Facebook friends for quite a few years, only I never really talked to him or messaged him much, but he put a lot of the program feeds out, over and over and over again. So I liked the way he did it, and I learned a lot from just reading his timeline, his feed.
Yeah.
You know, and then I would, of course, do that with other feeds, and I learned a lot in the cloning group, but however, the cloning group has gotten really kind of crazy, so sometimes I'd get mad because I'd see all the propaganda that would be squishing out the truth.
Yeah, there's a lot of dilution too. You know, a lot of other information that's not necessary getting in there.
Yeah, and then you'd get these shills in there and these trolls in there, and they'd be starting another group, and they'd be slicing Donnie left and right.
Yep.
And acting like fools and just disrupting any way they could.
I understand totally. That what's his name? Alex was doing that to me, and there was another one. Who was the other one? But yeah, the big one for me was that guy. What's his Pack Lives? He was just totally threw a wrench into it.
Yeah, I know. I've heard him a few times, and I think he's an idiot.
I agree.
You know. But, you know, we're just starting out, and people are just learning to make their channels, and people are just learning to post and communicate, and we're just learning to get to know each other. See, just from my one phone call and the 2 phone calls you had earlier, we got to know Matt, and I forgot the other fella's name, and y'all got to know me a little bit more just from a little bit of conversation. If we had people call in, or you could arrange, maybe talk to somebody in the group, just 30 or 40 minute conversation, you know, scope them out a little bit, and then just arrange it for them to call that next Wednesday, so that each person in the group kind of like, okay, we know who Cindy is now. She's that loudmouth military brat, you know?
Right, I hear
and
you.
Then we could kind of like to get to know each other that way better, and it wouldn't feel like a whole bunch of people crowded into a room with a million different opinions. At least we would know what people thought.
Yes.
You know, not saying that everything everybody says is going to be 100% accurate. I'm sure that I'm off. I'm sure there's still things I'm learning. I mean, every day I'm learning something,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
but
like we all got
are
a
you
piece.
teachable, or do you think you know it all?
we all have a piece of the puzzle, and if we put us all together, then the puzzle gets all put together. That's what I kind of think.
Well,
you know,
Donnie has pretty well drawn the map, put the puzzle together, and slapped it in front of our face, and we look at it like, oh my God, we can't believe that.
Right.
You know, but he really has mapped it out, and the only way he was able to do that was is all that suffering and torment that we can't even hardly imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I just scraped my heel the other day on the bottom of the refrigerator and peeled the skin off my heel, and I wanted to cuss. I didn't. I think I did. I probably did. I cussed. But I mean, it stung for a long while. Can you imagine having your skin pulled off every time you try to get on a video, and then everybody saying, oh, Donnie, make another video. Oh, Donnie, do this. Donnie, do that. Oh, Donnie, answer me. No wonder he's backed off in the corner after 8 years of that bullshit. Nobody saying nothing, doing nothing except for ask or accusing him.
I
bullshit.
totally agree with you. I totally agree. I have no.
You know,
I don't blame him at all.
either get behind him or shut up on that crap.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, because we ain't been crucified. We ain't had them do to us what he remembers them doing to them. Now, they could have done it to me, and I not even remember it. Thank God I don't remember it.
Yeah, that's what I say too. I'm glad I don't remember what they did to me. I don't want to know.
Right. But I have feelings of what's been done. I mean, I've had so many dreams of my teeth falling out. I don't know what that means. I feel like my fingers have been cut off.
Scary.
They damn well better not let me have a recollection of a memory of being raped, and I darn sure wouldn't want to have any recollection of it being with a woman, because that goes way against my consciousness. If anything like that even come near me, I'd wake up straight up. You know, because it's really, you're defining a little bit in just who you are as a person, how much they can get in over on you. You know, and I'm not saying that they haven't got over on me. I've done some stupid things. One time I was spazzing out so hard thinking somebody was following me, I pulled into the gas station.
That happens to me all the time.
Pulled on me.
That happens to me more often than I would like to admit. Like, somebody's following me.
No, I don't think that no more. Nowadays, I'm like, go ahead and follow me. I'm already ready to die, and it doesn't matter if I die tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't care. I ain't gonna live in fear. You know, I just won't. You know, there's times when I feel sensitive about stuff, and I think, well, you know, what do I feel is the safest way to go or what to do in my life. But I tell you that short while that after I first learned about, after I first heard Donnie on TV or the YouTube, whatever, I had the YouTube connected over on TV. I saw him on TV, and I was looking, wow. I was like, can that be true? And see, I studied body language, and now they got propaganda out saying that you can't tell anything by body language. Well, they're lying.
You can tell.
They're saying that, you know, if you can't always tell unless you know a person whether they're left brain or right brain. But I was studying every movement of his eyes and his hands and everything. And when he would talk about the cloning centers, he'd look at it. He would speak after looking out of his subconscious. And when he talked about what was going on now, and he would remember, he would look in the other direction.
Yeah.
And you can go and study yourself that that's scientific fact, that when you look straight up, you're remembering something that, you know, you saw. And then when you look to the left, you know, depending on which side, if you're right brain or left brain. But, you know, there's so much going on. I just believed it, and it freaked me out. And I did spaz hard for a while.
I had that same impression I had. I had the same impression when I first saw Donald. I was like, this guy is not lying. He's telling the truth. I just knew instinctively. You know, I'm not an expert on telling how to tell when somebody's lying or anything, but something just told me that this guy is telling the truth. I knew it, you know?
Right. And there's still people out there telling their story and telling the truth. But I'm not worried about whether they're telling their truth or Don's truth or whoever's truth they're saying. Don is telling the truth. But they're telling their truth the best that they can as they know it, each person that calls in or even people that have their own shows. Right. But at the same time, the thing that's the best thing to do is question the motivation of our hearts. Why am I doing this? If you got a gumption to do something, you might ought to know why you want to do it.
Right.
You know, figure that out for your own self and stop wondering why everybody else is doing what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
We're so
yeah.
busy
Well,
pointing fingers, sometimes we don't even think about ourselves.
Well, I know why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because nobody else is. And as soon as somebody can step up and do a better job, I'll go to sleep. I'll just take it easy, you know. But it's
I
just,
thought about trying, and I didn't think I could do it because I don't know technology from nothing. I barely keep myself not from getting a, what do you call it? I've been hacked twice in the last 4 years.
uh-huh.
That I know of.
Yeah, and I'm just barely.
But I mean, I go to these geek squads and I try to get them to make it as safe as they can and clear me up just as good as they can. But how can I trust the geeks? I love them. I want to trust them, but I don't know what I'm doing.
I hear you. And I'm like barely hanging on here with this. I mean, I got a iPad and a cell phone, and I'm like, all right, what do I got to be like a television station here every week? I mean, I don't know how to do this. I'm just barely.
You're doing it, Aldo. There's 100 people on here, and you get bunches of them that look at it later, and more. And you know what? Just sowing a seed. Just even if somebody don't, you know, a lot of times it takes a while for somebody to understand something. It's got to be explained in their language.
Yeah.
And not all people talk the same way. You know, some people way down to earth, and some people are like, you know, very intellectual. Everything has, you know, detail. Just people are people. But if we just keep putting the word out, that word is getting out.
Yep, I agree, 100%.
So anyway, I just wanted to say hello. I'm gonna let somebody else call in. I won't take up all the time.
Okay, Cindy, no, thank you so much for calling in. You've been a great help and a great inspiration, and I want you to keep on keeping on and doing what you're doing, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Y'all
much,
have a good
okay?
night.
God bless, love you. Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Love you too. God bless.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, that was Cindy Harris. Thank you, Cindy, for calling in. That was really a great call. All right, now, let's see now. What else we got? Is anybody, are we still going on here? What do we got? It's still 65 people here. That's news. Censorship policy will affect cloning videos. She confused me. It's easy to watch videos, and I'm definitely checking it out. On a room. Okay, guys. We've been going for 166 minutes now. I'm pretty much shot. We're gonna end it here. And I want to thank all you guys for participating and coming in. Yeah, tired. I'm tired. Yeah, I'm shot. I was tired when I started, but you know, I still show up for work even if I'm tired because the job's got to get done. That's my Italian work ethic, just pounding me in the back of the head. Just do it. Like it or not, do it. Okay, guys, but I'm pretty much shot tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining in and participating. I'll be back again next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you can all join us there. I don't know what the topic's going to be next week. I'm going to probably figure it out again like the last day before I broadcast like I did this one, you know. That's usually how it goes. I want to thank Donald Marshall for showing up in the chats. Everyone that called in, Cherise, Cindy, Sean, Plymouth Fury, Matt Duke, thanks for participating. Behave. And you guys, I'll see you again next week. Wish you all the best, and we're gonna end it on that. Okay, how's that? I'll put on the exit music here.